Hello. Hi, guys. What's going on? Dang. Oh, cool. Mama Oko is live. Dang, there's some pretty big names in there. Who's in the stream? Okay, well, I'm gonna let Mama Oko do their thing. I'm doing my own thing. But if you guys don't know, check out Mama Oko. They are doing live coverage of the Cinder 1,000 page Google Doc in real time. Like, actually, I'll do it right now because I feel like Mama Oko, in my personal opinion, is not as biased as I am regarding the Cinder slander. Because Cinder situation, right? I paused the VOD. Pause the. Okay, hold on. If you didn't know, yeah, Mama Oko is live. So if you want to listen to some unbiased, like neutral takes on the Cinder slander, feel free to go there because I can 100% tell you right now, I'm very biased. Before I begin, guys, please, I request the aid of Cinder fans and Pyropups to timestamp my VODs of me reading the 1,000 page Google Doc for Cinder. If you guys could, that'd be great. I am running on literal fumes. I have been. I have taken. Oof, technically, I have been awake for over 20 hours, I think? Because I woke up at like 5:30 a.m. I took a couple naps here and there during the day. I think I had like 3 naps in total, but like all at least beneath 20 minutes. But I am running on fumes, and this Cinder doc is one of the reasons why. Because I want to read through it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I am on fumes, guys. I am literally on fumes. I am here and I am on fumes. But anyway, we're going to continue reading the Google Docky from Cinder that was posted a few days ago. I would also like to put my personal biased opinion since I'm on fumes and I'm pretty not emotionally there. I just want to say that there are people out there. I said this in the last stream too. It's bothering me now. Like it's bothering me the amount of content creators that skim through Cinder's 1,000 page Google Doc. Some of them claiming they've read the entire Google Doc. Some of them just skipping it because they don't want to read the 1,000 pages and don't do their due diligence because they have their own moral high ground that they stand on. And some of them are like, "Oh no, Cinder actually did bad." And I'm like, the fact that they don't read through it all just shows how, in my personal bias projection, narrow-minded and short-sighted they are. They are so high up in their moral, like their moral standing, like they're so prideful of what they view as right and wrong that they aren't willing to give the benefit of the doubt and look at stuff. And it shows. I've been pretty active on X recently. Yeah, no, exactly. Hey, thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. And that's what upsets me. They want to keep this weird narrative where yes, oh, Cinder did bad. I'm like, okay, first off, Cinder admitted to wrong. She did admit to lying to the public too, but Well, yeah, she admitted wrong. She lied to the public about stuff, right? But that pales in comparison to the amount of slander and lies that Shia Lily Bow and Nanalis did to the freaking world. They basically canceled someone, nearly ruining their livelihood, and it makes me absurdly angry at them for them to just do that in an immature, childish, disgusting, deplorable, horrid fashion. As a small-time content creator, I've been on the YouTube platform. Pretty sure I've been on the YouTube platform before Shia Lily was on the platform. I'm being serious. I've been making content since 2011. Hey, Rit, I've been making content since 2011. My last YouTube channel got terminated because of my ignorance. But I've been on the YouTube scene for well over a decade. I have. I don't have the proof to show it, but I've been on the platform since 2011, and my last YouTube channel, which was literally my name, Godfred, and my last name, was terminated because I was ignorant. And I had to start from scratch in 2019. If you go to the first ever YouTube channel in my video, it is me explaining why my previous YouTube channel got terminated. I have been making content well before Shia Lily has, I am assuming. Actually, let's see. Let me check something. Shia Lily debut. Shia Lily, how long she make content? Shia Lily's been creating content since she started streaming on Twitch in 2016. Alright, cool. So I've officially been a content creator. My content creation career is longer than Shia Lily's. So I can say this with a good amount of confidence that what Shia Lily, Bow, and Nanalis did was absolutely deplorable and disgusting. It's horrible. It's amateur, it's childish, and it is a bad example for how VTubers should handle personal things. Now, everyone has their own opinion on this, and they're like, oh, don't have your boyfriend be your manager. Oh, if you're doing business, you should only just do business. Like, content creation is so free. I have literally looked, since I've been on the YouTube platform for a long time, like, guys, I'm pushing 28. I've been making content creation since 2011, when I was like 14. And I'm still a small-time content creator, because I'm not consistent. I don't do all those metrics. It's been just a side project, but I've made content creation on the side. And it's just, it is a joke, and it's so stupid. It's dumb. Like, for example, when I was ranting about Mor Kazahana's X post, stating that something dumb about, like, it's an internet drama, not a court case. Everyone knows that posting 1,000 pages is the smartest thing to do. Everyone understands that you have to make it digestible, which is stupid. You can do the 1,000 pages. You can do that, right? You can do a big old thing, and then you can take that and put it into smaller parts. You can do that. That's fine. I don't know where Mor Kazahana gets this moral high ground, this mindset that, oh, that's so stupid. What's stupid is the fact that he basically said, hey, more evidence means you're actually the culprit. Well, I'm projecting here. But that's what I get whenever I read that X post about him saying, oh, you're dumber, Lamau. I'm like, no, you're dumb. I vehemently, as you can tell, I vehemently disagree with what Mor Kazahana posted on X. It's very stupid. Short-sighted, narrow-minded, and because if you're being slandered, right, I'm being serious. If you're being slandered, I'd like to think that you'd like to have as much receipts, as much evidence as you can to refute the baseless claims. Hey Goku, welcome to the stream. I'm not gonna lie, Goku. I'm not streaming Action Time Minute. I'm ranting about a socially sensitive issue. Just letting you know, Goku. Just letting you go. But thank you for joining stream. And I also want to put it out there that Sinder has been going through intense hate. Like rape threats, dox threats, like horrible threats, all of which was said in her Google Doc. Absolutely deplorable. Disgusting even. And the whole thing And apparently, that whole thing about how on Shy Lily's stream where people are like, did you reach out to Sinder? She said, yes, once. I wonder what she's talking about. Because Sinder provided in her Google Doc that Shy Lily ghosted her. Never responded. So I'm just like, dang, you're a piece of garbage. And here's the worst part. 154 videos, over 12 documents, 5 videos on 1,000 pages. That's crazy. I just want to put it out there. I'm on fumes. I lost my train of thought. I'm on fumes, guys. But yeah, it's angering. If you're being slandered, I feel like it makes sense to come with your stack of papers, come with your evidence, and just show, hey, this person lied to you guys. They are slandering me. Like Legal Mindset says, if what Sinder is saying is true, this is grounds for a defamation case. People are like, oh, there's no way, but like, it doesn't matter. What matters is this is grounds for that to happen. It may take 2 years, may take longer, but it can happen if Sinder decides to go that route. I don't know what she's going to do. The ball is honestly in her court. That's what in terms of pursuing legal action. Now, getting the response from the 12 individuals that were involved with the doxing, from what I've observed and I've heard from others, they're ignoring it, with the exception of Nanolist. That's as far as I know. Because if you go to Nanolist's Discord server, as far as I know, it's locked down, and there's like an announcement message from Nanolist stating things where it was a bad apology in my personal biased opinion, because she doesn't apologize for lying to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of viewers. Because she talks about this exclusivity deal, right? Saying like, oh, it's bad for my health. But apparently, newsflash, she's the one that initiated it. And I'm like, you're not going to apologize for that? Like, Sinder and Redacted paid for her rigging. And then, like, she backed out of it. And as far as we know, Nanolist kept the money that Sinder and Redacted sent to her for the exclusivity deal. So when you think about it, she was robbed. Like, Sinder and Redacted were robbed of over $3,000 worth of money. USD. Yeah, the whole thing with Nanolist blocking people is stupid. That is not what a professional person does. Even though, in Nanolist's terms of service, she can blacklist you. So, there's a whole thing in her terms of service for blacklisting. And, hey, it's in the rules, it's in her terms of service, so okay. She can do that. But morally speaking, in my personal biased opinion, that's wrong and deplorable right there. She essentially just took money. Like, Sinder herself has helped platform Nanolist. Think about that. In Nanolist's Google Doc, Sinder has literally told Nano, I'm happy that I hired these people to teach you to improve your skills. If it wasn't for Sinder, Nanolist wouldn't be where she was now. She would not be. Sinder wouldn't be where she was now either. But the fact that they've been working closely for years, and then Nanolist did Redacted and Sinder dirty like that, that's deplorable. That's disgusting. And then everyone's saying like, oh, Redacted's a horrible boyfriend. Oh, he's a horrible manager. Okay, let's get this out of the way. He's a good boyfriend. I'm gonna say that. You can hate me for what I say. He's a good boyfriend. Here's why. Sinder and Redacted had a falling out because of the Sinder slander. Sinder herself said that. And they were they didn't talk for about a month, according to Sinder. And then they talked things out, and they got back together. Redacted also supported Sinder. Redacted is also a part of Cinder's identity. If it wasn't for Redacted, Sinder wouldn't be where she was now. Now, even Sinder admits that their relationship isn't perfect. They're human. But the fact that Redacted supported Sinder, and the fact that Redacted is willing to communicate and talk to Sinder, and Cinder's willing to communicate and make up with each other, shows that it's a good relationship. Say whatever you will, that's a good relationship. To be able to argue, have a falling out, and then fix it, mend it, and come back together, that's the sign of a strong relationship. That is. We are human. We have our own individual ideas. It is natural for humans to argue, even with your loved ones. What matters is taking the time to forgive each other and make up and move on with your life. So this is my personal biased opinion. Redacted's a good boyfriend. That's it. It's not perfect, but Sinder and Redacted have been together for years, and Redacted has supported Sinder this entire time. Redacted helped Sinder make this Google Doc for her. Redacted apologized for his actions alongside Sinder. Redacted was willing to take responsibility just like Sinder. He was not going to let Sinder just take the heat on her own. And it's apparent because he even has his own excerpts in the Google Doc. That's the thing. Now, in terms of him doing like stuff like that, okay, with business, I want to give my own personal biased opinion on that. This is my own personal biased opinion on that. With Redacted being the manager, sure, some of the stuff, wasn't great. But in the VTuber content creation sphere, this is content creation sphere, okay? I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a thing called company culture. Every company has a specific culture. You kind of have to go there, observe, see how they act amongst coworkers, see how they act professionally, see how they act in a casual manner. It's the same thing in the content creation sphere. People will interact in a specific way. Content creation is wild. There's different cultures in terms of making contracts in content creation, whether it be professional or amateur. It's just wild out here. That's how I see it. Now, the way Redacted and Nanolis did deals, you can argue it's amateur, it's childish. But the thing is, in VTubing, to my understanding, and as a content creation creator, CCC, content creator, they merged casual with business. And okay, that's fine. It's fine to do that. Despite what anyone says, in the content creation sphere, I think it's fine to do that. It's fine to mix friendship and business. It's fine. As long as you set the boundaries. Now, here, it seems like the boundaries were, not as set, but there were, in my opinion, biased, some sort of boundaries. There were some sort of boundaries there. The fact of the matter is that Redacted took the time to apologize and clarify himself to Nanolis. It's apparent in the screenshots. In the screenshots that Sinder sent, especially in the screenshots that Nanolis used in her Google Doc. Redacted apologized and clarified some things. Okay, that's fine. The whole thing with people saying, he's a bad manager, he's a bad, boyfriend, all that, I think is false. I think it's false. I think he's a good boyfriend. I think he's an okay manager. He's just, the way he did business with Nanolis was literally between them. If that's how they wanted to handle business, that's fine. That's on them. The thing is I feel like people are equating professional company, culture with, content creation, collabing culture. Because I see those things as two separate things. When you're in a company, like I am, you see how they handle things in a more professional manner. Now, with content creation, what I've seen from various content creators, it's less so professional, more so casual. There's still professionalism in it, but it's not as professional as, company, contracts and stuff like that. So, personally, looking at it all, I'm okay, I think it's... I personally, my biased opinion, think how Red handled business was okay. Considering that Sinder released everything, and Redacted literally was hey Nanolis, are you sure we can work with your schedule? And Nanolis was no, I think you can do this and all that stuff. So, and that's based on what I've read so far. And yeah, so, now that I've seen more of this, because of what Sinder posted, my opinion now, basically, is that Redacted's a good boyfriend. He's an okay manager. Now, he's no longer going to be the manager, but he's still going to help Sinder with her projects, and that's fine. It's fine. It's okay. People blame Redacted, and it's okay, Like, I understand, like, Cinder and Redacted were like, oh, Redacted's, like, apologizing for it. Like, okay, fine, I guess you don't have to. I don't think he has to, personally. And here's why I say that Redacted doesn't have to really apologize. And it's because the business side of things was handled privately between the two. There was enough professionalism between Nanolis and Redacted to just keep it in their own private direct messages on Discord. Nanolis is the one that really screwed things up. Redacted made sure to keep things between the two of them as it should be, but Nanolis broke that, literally did like a company culture taboo thing, and just leaked private DMs. Private DMs of clients of said professional artist. So, yeah. So yeah, I think Cinder's a good boyfriend. I think he's an okay manager. I think so. But I also feel bad. But there's one thing I want to disagree with in Cinder's, like, Google Doc. I really disagree with something where she chose to believe that Bao made a mistake when Bao said, Numi forgave you for not going to your concert. And I understand that Bao was under the influence of post-surgery. I get that. But the problem here is that Bao, like, after some time has passed, Bao didn't take it back and apologize. She didn't do that. And according to Sinder, none of her friends reached out to her except for one close friend that reached out to her after. And that's the stupid part. After the docs dropped, reached out. That is stupid. Those are the signs of fake friends. No, you cannot argue with me with that. Well, you can, but I'm going to tell you that personally, in my own biased opinion, she was surrounded by fake friends. If they're just going to drop Google Docs, make streams about the Cinder slander, and not give Cinder a chance to explain herself, plus making it public. Like, they could have talked to Cinder before. They had her contact info, and apparently they blocked her, so she couldn't even, like, say anything to them. And that's the messed up part. Cinder saw these people as friends, and in her Google Docs so far, she has still saw them as friends. And I actually read the ending. She forgave her friends, and that just shows that she's way more of a heaven hound than I am, because she's willing to forgive them, and that takes a lot of strength. And it takes a lot of, like, strength to just be the better person. But I still feel like Cinder is still justified in, like, putting a defamation case against all of them. Cinder is justified in, like, seeking reparations from the damage they've done to her. And I feel like Bao did that on purpose. And if she didn't do it on purpose, then she purposely ignored that she did it on purpose and just kept going. And I just want to say that, again, they got away with it. They all got away with it. Shy Lily, Bao, Nanolis, they got away with it. It doesn't matter that Nanolis' Discord server is locked now. It doesn't matter that Nanolis said an apology, which was bad in my personal biased opinion. It doesn't matter. They got what they wanted. They bullied and canceled Cinder off the VTubing platform. They got what they wanted. Because Cinder willingly gave up her Gamersup's partial ownership because of the Cinder slander, because she was canceled. And that still infuriates me. She worked so hard to get this partial ownership, and she lost it because of her fake friends. And, like, if Cinder disagrees with it, that's fine, but me personally, I think those are fake friends. If none of them are willing to hear you out, if none of them are going to hear you out, and then they make this drama public, and only one of them reaches out to her after the docs drop, nah, I think they're all fake friends. Or if not fake friends, then they're really bad, horrible friends for doing that. They almost ended her livelihood. She received threats for 5 months. I can only assume. She received so much hate. And the fact that she's still here is just a godsend. I am glad that she's fine. I'm glad she's standing up for herself and making this 1,000-page Google Doc. But it's still infuriating that her friends that she trusted betrayed her. Nanolis and her worked for, like, years. Nanolis betrayed her. Cinder was with the Girly Pops. They betrayed her. Well, as far as we know, a group. I don't know about Yuzu, Vienna, and Tricky, but the fact that none of them reached out to her? Really? Guys, like, isn't Cinder your friend? Like, shouldn't you talk to her about this? Instead of being petty and childish and making it public? And then don't get me started on the people on X saying, like, oh, Cinder should have done this privately. Listen up. Listen here. Listen. If they can do it, Cinder is in her rights to do the exact same thing back to them. She is. You can all say it should have been handled privately. She didn't need to do this. It's childish. No. I think... Is it childish? Let me think about that. Nah, I don't think so. I think that's the mature thing. Because, listen, if they're gonna throw mud at you, if someone's going to punch you in the face, they better accept to be reciprocated in turn. You gotta stand up for yourself. You can't let people, like, walk all over you. If someone punches you, then, like, you're in your right to punch back. The United States of America, Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, the right to fight back. Like, that's in the US. I know there's different laws in other countries, but it's like, but in a moral standing, if someone's gonna hurt you like that, then you either stay away from them or you fight back. That's just how it is. And it's so angering. It's so angry. They're like, oh, you don't need to do that. I'm like, are you serious? You were fine with a group of VTubers throwing slander, hate, Cinder's way over, like, their Google Docs where all of them compiled together was a pamphlet compared to Cinder's Google Doc. You're saying these small portions of poorly compiled evidence from the accusers to Cinder, you're saying that's fine. But when Cinder comes back to refute things, and she has a mountain of evidence to support it, you're saying, oh no, it's bad? Like, that's stupid. No, like, that's actually stupid. That's dumb. You just don't want to be wrong. You just don't want to be wrong. And that's horrible. You need to show some sort of humility. You shouldn't let pride be the deciding factor. If you're wrong, own up to it. And if you don't do that, then you're just not a good person. I was about to say something else, but I'll just say you're not a good person. Okay, I do want to address that. Thanks for bringing that, Phantom Kiro, or PK. I'm going to address that. What I understand is someone saw Nanolis on her Google Doc. Okay? I have not seen proof that Nanolis did in fact edit her Google Doc. I have not seen proof. I only saw that she was on there, but there is no proof to say that she edited it. Now, here's a way to check, okay? And this is up to the Cinder fans and Power Pups that want to check. Powder has the original. In her Google Doc that she posted a little bit after the Cinder slander, she has the original. If you compare the original to what we have now and see that there's been some editing, I feel like now you can say beyond a reason of a doubt that it has been edited. But so far, I've seen people, like, throw that screenshot out there, like, oh, no, this is editing her doc. I was like, whoa, hold up, guys. The screenshot that was passed around in X shows that she was on her doc. That doesn't say she edited it, as far as I understand. Now, feel free to correct me, but please cross-check between Powder's doc and Nanolis's doc right now, so that way you can see for sure if there's been some editing. So, I just thought I'd address that. So, yeah, I've spent 30 minutes ranting. I meant to continue reading the doc, but I just wanted to rant a bit, because thinking about the Cinder slander really grinds my gears. It makes me very upset at the accusers, and it makes me just wonder, like, why? Just why? As you all know, Cinder is one of my favorite indie VTubers, so of course I'm going to be in the pro-Cinder camp. I'm really biased, because I'm pro Cinder. But like the fact of the matter is that like all of this is ridiculous. And the worst part is that the accusers won't receive repercussions. They won't. Shy Lily is so famous. It's Shy Lily. What's it matter if like a couple people unfollow it and unsubscribe from her? She's still gonna make tons of money. Now that doesn't mean it's going to. That doesn't mean that it's gonna stay the same. Let's say, for example, she has a lot of followers and subscribers, right? Let's say she makes $1,000 every video. Now, because of Cinder's Google document, maybe that has changed some of people's mindset on it, and some people started following, subscribing her, right? So instead of getting $1,000 per video, it'll be $999. It's small, I know, but it does make a difference. It shows that there's been a shift in opinion. Even though it's just a little tiny smidge of a change, it shows that, hey, there's still change. So, I mean, like, it's not going to affect her at all, but you can still, like, do something about it to make it a little bit annoying for them. However, I will say this. Cinder has said this: if you spread harassment and hate in her name, you're not a pyropup. You're deplorable. Like, that's her words. Go to the end of her doc and she says that for the pyropups. So, to respect her wishes, just be civil about it. You don't have to attack people. Like, you shouldn't do that because Cinder said so. And I feel like Cinder fans and pyropups should be the example other communities look up to. Look up to, right? Like, pyropups, like Cinder's community, should be a community that other communities should strive to be, kind to others, civil, stand up for what's right, but, like, there's ways to get back at people while being civil, and that's just don't support them. You can unsubscribe from them, you can unfollow them, you can mute their notifications. There are tools that allow us to fight back civilly. So I just want to put that out there. Like, and here's the thing. I see people fighting back, like, how dare you do that? And first off, Cinder doesn't want that. She's been through enough drama. Enough's enough. She just wants to move on now. But if you're still upset about the other party, here's what you need to do. First off, don't engage with them. Just stop supporting them. Ignore them. I am being serious. You want to get back at them? Ignore them. Just stop. Just unsubscribe, unfollow, just ignore them. Just ignore them. Guys, it's so simple. Ignore them. You shouldn't attack them. Just ignore them. Here's the thing, guys. We're in content creation. I'm in content creation, okay? And I can tell you this. PR is PR, whether good or bad. If you start calling out a content creator, saying they're the most horrible person in the world, or saying that they're the best person in the world, you are promoting them. You are promoting them. If you give them attention, they win. In the content creator sphere, if you give someone attention, they win. They just win. Whether good or bad, PR is PR, you promote them. So more people hear about them, which means they engage with more people, and the cycle never ends. Here's how to end the cycle, and it's really rough, and it's tough, and I understand that. You just don't engage. You ignore them. You unfollow them. You unsubscribe. You turn off notifications. That's all you do. Move about your day. In the content creation sphere, plays by different rules than like street fights and stuff like that. It does. They do. It's different. Now you can like there. I guess there's like maybe there may be some extreme scenarios where you do have to fight back, but in this case, you just ignore them. In this case, in this specific case, just ignore them. You want to get back at them? Ignore them. Unsubscribe from them. Unfollow them. Just leave them. Just stay away from them. There is literally a function on Twitch where you can go to a Twitch channel and say, mark as not interested, or block. You can just block them. Ignore them. That's how you can get back at them. That's how you can get back at them and not spread hate, right? Because everyone's saying, please don't spread hate, right? Okay, fine. We won't do that. We can just ignore you. That's all you need to do. We need, we need to still respect Cinder's wishes. Be the community that other communities look up to. Be kind to others. Be civil when things go south, right? Stand up when it's time to stand up. Just be civil. And like I said, if you don't like the people, the accusers, don't attack them. Because one, you'll just be promoting them, they'll get more views, they'll get more money. Two, Sinder said, please stop. I've had enough drama. I've been through 5 months of hate. I just want my community to be the kind, amazing community that it was before the Sinder slander. And, you can get back at them while being civil and, not spreading hate. And that's just ignoring them. Just start by unsubscribing from them, unfollowing them, marking their channels as uninterested. Just block them. Because people are, attacking, they're, both sides are, slinging mud at each other again, and it's not as bad as it was initially when the Sinder slander came out, but it's still bad. Just stop, ignore them, unfollow them, unsubscribe from them, turn off notifications, just mark their channel, account, or whatever as blocked or something, and move on. Because let me tell you something, if you don't engage with them, they lose. Engagement is a big thing in content creation. Content creators get money off of views, off of likes, off of subscribers, off of followers. If you just unfollow and you unsubscribe and you ignore them, you win. Because then you have taken something negative and toxic and threw it away. If you consider it negative and toxic, of course. You just throw it away. Then you can just focus on Cinder's content and supporting Sinder. You can be full of positivity instead of the negativity from the whole accusers thing in the Sinder slander. Just saying. If you guys really want to help Sinder, just ignore the accusers and just support her. And if you want to get back at the accusers, just ignore them. That's all you gotta do. Just to respect Cinder's wishes of just, not spreading hate. Just ignore the accusers. If you still want to watch them, fine, go ahead. You can do that. But if you don't like them anymore, just ignore them. Don't engage, ignore them. PR is PR. That's it. Don't do that. Don't spread hate. Because PR is PR, whether it's bad or good. So, yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys have been seeing on my X account. Well, yeah, my personal X account. So I've been using the hashtag Justice for Sinder. That was a hashtag that someone asked me and some others to do to support Sinder. And I also have my own hashtag. If you go to my X account, I have this movement called hashtag Cinder's Redemption Arc, just a way to support Sinder. If you guys don't know about it, the hashtag Cinder's Redemption Arc is this. Just send something positive to Sinder and just put the hashtag. That's all. Hashtag Cinder's Redemption Arc is literally just a hashtag to encourage her, to help her become better, to support her. That's what the hashtag is. Now, the hashtag Justice for Sinder is Sinder deserves justice. So, I would repost, Mama Oko's X post. Quote repost it with the hashtag Justice for Sinder. Only spread is cheese spread? What about Nutella, Goku? What about Nutella? But yeah, I just wanted to rant a bit and give my personal biased opinion on the situation. Thanks for listening to my personal biased opinion. Of course, you are your own person. Feel free to disagree with what I say. We're all human. If you don't agree with what I said, that's fine. And please respect Cinder's wishes. Please respect them. Do not spread hate. And if you are so angry and you want to get back at the accusers, just ignore them. And if you still like the accusers, like, sure, okay, fine. It's your life, your rules. I can't do anything about it. Live your life how you want to. But just, for Sinder, let's just support her and just ignore the accusers. Unless you like the accusers, it's like I'm going back and forth. Like, I'm self-aware that I'm going back and forth with what I said, but if you like them, you like them. If you don't like them, ignore them. But we should all be focusing on supporting Sinder as she takes steps to return back to the VTubing sphere. And it's reassuring to see that she stood up for herself. And I do hope she returns soon. Just give her time. Just give her time, guys. I've heard someone email, like, people are like, I don't know, people have said they've reached out to her for, like, certain things other than, like, business things. But if you go to her Discord server, in the rules section, don't DM Sinder. She's a busy hellhound. Like, there's a rule for that. It's just like, I feel like we need to just give her space. And if you want to support her, there's a hashtag for that. It's called #SinderDoodle. Like, if you want to help her, just use the hashtag #SinderDoodle. Don't like, message her directly, please. Not right now. Like, definitely not now. She's been through a whole lot. Do not. Like, just use the hashtag #SinderDoodle on social media. Please do not directly contact Sinder, because that's just going to add more stress to her. I feel like it will. This is just my mindset. When you're a very popular VTuber, and people are trying to constantly email you with either, hey, I want to support you, or hey, screw you, you know, like all the hate she's been receiving, gets to be a bit much. And she needs her space, right? So just use the hashtag #SinderDoodle, guys, please. Just please use the hashtag #SinderDoodle. Because I think there's an X post where some dude, like, or some person emailed Sinder directly regarding the Sinder slander, and I'm like, maybe not do that. Maybe not do that. Like, there's a reason we have hashtags for, like, big content creators. It's so that way there's a boundary between their personal space and the fan's space. Please use hashtag #SinderDoodle. And if you want to reach out to her directly, and you just ignore what I'm saying right now, then at least wait until she's in a good place. Wait until she's streaming again to directly message her, even though there's a rule in the Cinder's Hellhole Discord server stating, don't DM Sinder unless you got approval from a mod. Like, I just want to put that out there. Yeah, #SinderDoodle, I'm so glad that there's that. Oh, that's a really good idea, break it. Because Sinder reached Hype Train level 32, which is freaking awesome. And it's like, I know that some other VTubers, I think there was a VTuber on X that was like, I wish I had a community that's as good as Cinder's community. Because even when Cinder's gone, there are still people supporting her. So that's great. That's great. It's wonderful to see that. Yeah. I wanted to address some of that. So, I wanted to address some of that. So, make sure to use hashtag #SinderDoodle. Do not contact Sinder directly. For the love of all that is Hellhound and Pyropup, do not directly message her. Use the hashtag #SinderDoodle, because heaven on earth knows, like, Lord knows what she's going through. And it ain't easy. She's getting back on her feet. She has her own dog now, which is wonderful. Just, if you're going to support her, use hashtag #SinderDoodle. Do not directly contact her. Because I feel like, apparently there's people that have done that already, and I'm like, don't. I really think you shouldn't do that, but I don't control your actions. You control your actions, so if you do that, just be prepared for the consequences. Just saying. But yeah, like, genuinely, like, please respect Cinder's space. And if you want to support her, use hashtag #SinderDoodle. If you want to support her, feel free to use my hashtag Cinder's Redemption Arc. And if you find something that supports Cinder's innocence, use hashtag Justice for Cinder, such as like Mama Oko's X post, like how I do it. I quote repost it and say with the hashtag Justice for Cinder and all that stuff. So I don't know what you're talking about, Grumpy. Thanks for joining the stream, by the way. I've been ranting. I've seen you in chat. I see you in chat. I'm not ignoring you. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Okay, now that I have ranted for at least 46 minutes, which was not intended, let's start reading the Sinder doc. Let's continue. Let's continue where I left off. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess silence. I guess, Regia. I'm playing. But yeah, just we need to give Cinder space. We need to support her by using the hashtags. Like I said, it's a boundary between the content creator and their fans. Saying, ooh, I don't even remember what page I was. I was like 136 or something. Yeah, this is it. I think I was like 136. You're gonna drop a Google Doc on me? Oh no! Whatever will I do? I'll probably do what the accusers are doing and ignore it. Because from what I understand, the accusers are just ignoring Cinder's Google Doc as if nothing happened. Like, genuinely. But whatever. Okay. This is the raid one. Okay. Where, oh, that's right. I was gonna read something. Okay. But then I don't remember. Oh! It was the Nikkei bikini? Oh, thanks for the reminder, Phantom Kiro or PK. I appreciate that. Also, fudge. Hold on. Phantom Kiro or PK. I should have done this, but I want to thank you for the super chats. If you didn't know, I am a YouTube partner, so you have the ability to super chat. Feel free to do it if you want. I have nothing planned at the moment, but like, hey, if you want to support me, that'd be great. I appreciate it. So Phantom Kira PK, thank you for the super chats in the previous streams. I should have said that earlier, but like, I had notifications off because I wanted to focus solely on this. So I saw that, I was like, oh. Oh. Okay, the Nikkei bikini. The Nikkei bikini. Where was the Nikkei bikini? Where was the Nikkei bikini? Oh, Brad and Fred. Oh, bikinis together. Whoa! Okay. There's TwitchCon in Europe. Okay, let's continue where we left off. Okay. Hey guys, I hope you've been doing well. Are you coming to any US cons this year? I was wondering, Lily, if you'd be down and available to collab on my stream sometime during my subathon after June 21st. I was thinking either another funny game like the last one we played, or maybe we can do a Nikkei tier list since I know you're a Nikkei girly too. Bosca. Hey, we'll be going to TwitchCon North America. Sadly, Lily won't be able to join during that time since we're prepping for TwitchCon Europe. Plus, sponsors wanted to work with us just before we go with our break. Thank you, Bosca, no problem. I'd love to try planning something in July if that works too. Why am I talking like this? I'm excited to see you guys later this year. Hey guys, I was wondering if Lily, you'd be free sometime in the second half of August to do a bikini collab during a Nikkei hotness tier list. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and you did so good with Miss RGB. I really hope you continue doing more music. If you'd ever want to do something musically together, I think we could pull off a really cool rock song. My bikini model debut was on August 16th, 2024, and this collab was on September 5th, 2024. I did listen to the YouTube video of that. An hour, 9 minutes, 47 seconds to an hour, 10 minutes, 2 seconds in. Ah, no. Hey, Grumpy, thanks for joining stream. Have a good night. Take care. Make sure to get plenty of rest, buddy. So, on her very first stream after I was cancelled, Shiley admitted to ghosting me, admitted to dodging collabs with me, and made a joke out of me raiding her. The reason any of this happened was because Shiley lied and told Nano Red was slandering her, and she was being manipulated by him. Then, Nano's document repeated that the things he said about Shiley were lies and slander. Well, all of those slanderous lies were true. I showed they were true. Shiley herself admitted they were true, so... And here we are. So why did she lie about them? Shiley said she'd like to excuse herself from those two sins she admitted to, and then she blamed her actions on me because I should have known better. Taking no accountability, deflecting, narcissistic manipulation, all of the things Shiley projected onto me. Hour 10 minutes 2 seconds to 1 hour 11 minutes 28 seconds. Shiley makes a point that I should have just talked to her, not go to Nano, but I didn't go to Nano. Red did. As much as Shiley wanted to push the idea, Red and I are not the same person. When I was ready to confront Shiley about what was going on, I did. She never responded because she was already in the middle of organizing my cancellation. See, this is the thing. Sinder reached out to Shiley and she ghosted her. And then... Did poor Nano realize there were more incidents, or did Shiley ask her if there were more? And what did Red ask Nano to do that she supposedly felt bad about? Nothing. Shiley highly encouraged Nano to share these things with Bao, but Shiley was the one who had to reach out to Bao herself. Nano may have agreed, but she couldn't do it without Shiley's help. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 29 seconds to 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 28 seconds. Obviously, we were all ready for blood. On her stream, Bao didn't sound like she was ready for blood. Was Shiley projecting that bloodlust onto everyone involved so it didn't sound like she wasn't the weird and problematic one? Or was Bao putting on a performance for the audience? But we still decided to sleep a night over it. Give it one night. We all still knew this has to happen. With the limited misinformation they got from Nano, Shiley, Ready for Blood pushing things along, and my friends using the confirmation bias from a few other past experiences, they chose to cancel me over one night without ever contacting me. Hour 16 minutes 2 seconds to an hour 17 minutes 54 seconds. Shiley complained that she didn't get her own section in my apology as if anything was actually done to her. My 2-syllable name and a thank you was too much to ask for after raiding my friend. I didn't refer to Shiley as the other Gamer Subs owner. Red did. Separate person. I don't even get a section for myself with my name properly fucking written. Come on, bro, don't be such a hypocrite. You don't get to be upset at that shit and then put me there, throw me in there, and be like, I'm so sorry, I had no knowledge of this. I don't get to be upset at the petty actions towards me because I called her Lily. This is extremely narcissistic. Hour 18 minutes 49 seconds. While waiting for her ad break to end, chat, it's just business. I'm just making a living. It's just business. I'm sorry, it's just business. Petty. Hour 19 minutes 54 seconds to an hour 20 minutes 54 seconds. I don't know where I was, but let me just say in this section that she dedicated a Con and me. I'm not going to read that. That's like, you can go to the video to read it. I'm reading the new stuff because I've already listened to that. I don't want to look at that. Like I said already, if more proof of their claims existed and wasn't shown due to it containing personal info like she claimed, they could have censored it. Thank you! Oh my gosh! That is the thing! That's what makes me upset at Shiley. She's like, we got more stuff happened, but it contained personal information. Oh yeah? Then Nano is leaking private DMs was, like, private personal information. Like, nah. You can't throw a double standard like that. You're just hypocritical at that point. And the thing is they cherry-picked it. And they censored names! Nano has censored names! So if Shiley is gonna throw that, there's personal information in here so we couldn't release it to the public, that's a load of baloney. They could have censored it. Thank you! Oh my gosh! What they said is like... doesn't make any sense. Because... doesn't. I've seen the apology from Nanolist's Discord server. I personally see it as a very bad apology. Because she does not apologize for lying to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of people. Yeah, this is Whataburger. I love my Whataburger. I had the sweet and spicy burger before I came back home tonight. Yeah, don't worry. Some people probably weren't on the stream then. Dang, Phantom. Dang. My private messages with Numi are the only thing I can imagine she's talking about. If it is that, and Numi wanted to keep it private, then Shadow Lily chose to baselessly talk all about Numi's concert in her tweet and on her stream against Numi's wishes because she knew how talking about it would make me look. Excuse me. Hour 20 minutes 57 seconds to 1 hour 24 minutes 19 seconds. For her to claim she has no knowledge when I know for a fact she does, but I have no proof. Oh yeah, Shadow Lily had no proof I knew anything. She just knew I did, but pushed everything to be made public anyway. Shadow Lily is talking about Numi's concert here, but never shows anything about it. The quote she used in her reply to me was from my private conversation with Numi. Pressure to live up to what Lily is. Shadow Lily expected me to take public accountability for an already privately settled situation, once again falsely claiming that I used her as an excuse and that it was all about the money to me. When asked why she didn't handle this privately, Shadow Lily said, "We did once, we did." She's talking about my private apology to Numi about her concert, which ended with me taking accountability and trying to make things right, and Numi forgiving me. They didn't handle anything privately before. Shadow Lily didn't handle anything privately. But then she wanted to imply that because Red said "we" in his messages to Nano, it meant I knew of and agreed with everything he said, once again putting standards on me that she wasn't holding herself to. I believe Shadow Lily was the one who was pushing everyone not to handle any of this privately. Here are my final messages with Shadow Lily, Nano, and Bao. And April 21st, 2025, April 15th, 2025. Oh, that's sad. Because this is the one. Hi Nano, would you want to come on my stream again sometime? She probably already said that earlier. March 28th, 2025. Just to make it clear, the person Shadow Lily said you need to be in good standing with is Numi. Shadow Lily also said she was sorry she was caught in a true narcissistic, selfish, egotistic fashion. She's sorry she got caught. Hour 24 minutes 19 seconds to 1 hour 25 minutes 43 seconds. No, Red and I didn't try to deplatform Shadow Lily, any of my friends, or anyone else. None of either of our actions remotely come close to that. Shadow Lily did that to me. The most anyone was backstab was in the deal Red made with Nano behind my back, and I already went over how that really played out. If there was any evidence of me trying to deplatform and backstab any of my friends, why didn't Shadow Lily show that at all? Then, talking about Numi's concert again, says I blamed her and gamer subs when I didn't. It didn't happen. She goes on to talk about the pressure I was under when I made that decision. No, I didn't beg for that pressure, and I didn't beg for my part ownership position like she claims. I was surprised with the offer by gamer subs because of my performance with the company, and I accepted it. By what she claimed, Shadow Lily seems to agree that the position did come with pressure and responsibility. The same pressure and responsibility that led to me making my decision about the concert. Hour 26 minutes 55 seconds to hour 29 minutes 11 seconds. Shadow Lily told her chat she's always had a bad gut feeling about me. Hour 29 minutes 26 seconds to an hour 33 minutes 30 seconds. Whataburger. Shadow Lily's summary of what happened is a complete lie. Then she presents how she thinks I should have apologized for the things she decided I did, falsely framing me as greedy from growing too fast and being too filthy rich. This is coming from Shy Lily. Hour 34 minutes 38 seconds to 1 hour 35 minutes 40 seconds. She continues to turn my audience against me in a string of petty insults. I'm sorry that when I was being attacked publicly from all sides by everyone I knew, the focus of what I wrote wasn't on my community. Hour 39 minutes 39 seconds to 1 hour 40 minutes 1 second. I didn't see Shy Lily as competition, and Red's view was more than just going to Nano for a model. If she treated me like a friend, it wouldn't have been something he brought up to her. She claimed I was begging for partial ownership and all kinds of other things I wanted from her. That's wild. Not only did she have nothing to do with my part ownership, as if she had the power to give it to me, not once have I ever said anything about that to her. Ever. All kinds of other things I wanted from her, to hang out and get to know her. I've never begged Shy Lily for anything. What a narcissistic thing to say. Hour 42 minutes 24 seconds, petty. 2 hours 15 minutes 57 seconds to 2 hours 16 minutes 43 seconds. Shy Lily was the one who was expecting me to publicly take accountability for everything and anything I've ever done, like what happened with Numi's concert, even though it was already settled privately between us. 2 hours 17 minutes to 2 hours 19 minutes 40 seconds. Shy Lily says you won't always know every single little thing, in reference to me knowing about Red's messages, but the standard of knowing everything was unfairly applied to me when it mattered. Shy Lily also claimed this was going on for years when it wasn't. She says the times my friends saw us sharing messages on our phones in person prove I knew everything. Shy Lily said the documents, nanos, and bows only talk the truth, they only talk facts, when in actuality that's a freaking lie. Anyway. Oh, well, actually, no, they do say facts. It's facts that they lied about. They used facts to create a false narrative. Defamation. 2 hours 23 minutes 10 seconds to 2 hours 23 minutes 30 seconds. This is a blatant lie, and it's not true at all. I believe Shy Lily must have been the one who convinced my friends of this. Oh, the stepping stones thing. 2 hours, 23 minutes, 55 seconds to 2 hours, 25 minutes, 10 seconds. I've never said anything about Silvervale to Shy Lily. I don't know how she can claim she knew it wasn't the truth unless she heard the opposite story from Silvervale herself. Everything I told my other friends about mine and Red's experience with Silver was true, and it's all laid out in her section of this document. Both of us had no reason to lie to them about her. You'll see how I really felt about Silvervale and how our relationship played out in her section. 2 hours, 27 minutes to 2 hours, 27 minutes, 21 seconds. The only time she's platformed me and streamed any of our collabs herself was our V-Card collab on February 1st, 2025. Other than that, the few times we've done anything together, it's always been on my stream. I platformed her more than she ever did me, with her dodging the repo collab possibly so she wouldn't platform me. Wow! Talk about a horrible, narcissistic woman. 2 hours, 29 minutes, 2 seconds to 2 hours, 30 minutes, 11 seconds. Yes, my YouTube channel is made up of videos of me and my friends, but everything Shy Lily said here is a lie. I wasn't burning bridges, I wasn't demanding recognition, I wasn't sabotaging anyone. The things she's referring to here and completely mischaracterizing are from something Red said about Silvervale once in July of 2023. She's talking as if they were my own words, that it somehow applies to other people other than Silvervale, and it's relevant to my own actions almost 2 years after the fact. Yep, that's a thing. 2 hours, 32 minutes, 40 seconds. Hello, Yochi. Oh, and yeah, Petty. 2 hours, 35 minutes, 30 seconds to 2 hours, 36 minutes, 3 seconds. Every paragraph that was just deflecting, kind of like how Shy Lily deflected her actions to Nano to begin with, and then after admitting to them on this stream, blamed it on me. Shy Lily makes a good point here. What about everything I or Red caused to Silvervale in spite? Well, I've laid out everything that was caused to either of them at the start of this document in the accountability section. You'll see it in their own sections too. You'll also see all of the things I didn't cause, but the public was told I caused. You already saw Nano canceling Silver's model into November 2023, but blaming it on me, and Silvervale in spite made plenty of their own claims too that are addressed in their sections. 2 hours, 36 minutes, 32 seconds. To 2 hours, 36 minutes, 51 seconds. Wrong again, but Shy Lily seems to know a lot about having the balls to say anything when she could never say anything herself. Imagine, didn't even have the balls to fucking say anything, you know what? Because she knew what she was doing was fucking wrong, she knew. Such as you knowing that Sinder messaged you when you ghosted her. Yeah, good job, Shy Lily. 2 hours, 39 minutes, 37 seconds to 2 hours, 40 minutes. Shy Lily's use of "it's just business" was obviously not the same as my use of the phrase. It really wasn't. 2 hours, 40 minutes, 58 seconds to 2 hours, 41 minutes, 12 seconds. Shy Lily again lies about the timeline of events. She found out about this 2 weeks ago, not 5 days ago. 5 days ago was when Shy Lily and Nano told Bao after her surgery. They actually didn't have career-ending fucking evidence. But because Nano lied to everyone and everything Red said was projected onto me, I believe Shy Lily used the little evidence she had to make sure it ended my career. 2 hours, 42 minutes, 32 seconds to 2 hours, 43 minutes, 28 seconds. Shy Lily told a viewer that her friend was naive for asking for more evidence of the claims made against me. It's really funny that Shy Lily said to give it a few more years before they'd see the absolute audacity, narcissistic manipulation in all of this, because it only took 5 months to make the narcissistic manipulation abundantly clear. Throughout her whole stream trashing me, Shy Lily avoided accountability, gave excuses, deflected, and made jokes out of the things she was doing, while simultaneously admitting to everything she claimed was slander and manipulation that turned Nano against me in the first place. Shy Lily didn't care about the lies she was telling about me on stream. She won and celebrated my cancellation. She couldn't help but take a victory lap around my corpse. Says a lot about her narcissistic character. Accountability only mattered to her when it's the other way around. I should have known better than to expect the Shy Lily to hold herself to the same standards as she did Snake. Shy Lily is the only one who was involved with that has a highlight video of her stream talking about me on her main YouTube channel. She was more than happy to profit off of this and broadcast her lies about me to her 1 million subscribers. And it's true. She did. And this is the YouTube video, which is funny because I believe a Daily Dose of VTubing has an extended version of that segment. Yeah. What did Shy Lily have against me in the first place? Speculation. Shy Lily lied about me on her stream, lied about me in her reply, lied about me to my friends, and lied to Nano at the very start. The actions she said were slander she admitted to on stream. Clearly, Shy Lily had something against me before Red ever talked to Nano about her, according to her, as early as March 21st, 2025, when she dodged the Repo collab. So what was her problem? The one person that is the reason for me dodging is the one concerned as to why I'm dodging. Let's look at some of the things she said on her stream again. Wow, she's really going into it. "11 minutes 5 seconds to 11 minutes 21 seconds. I'm sorry, you don't have to give me biddies and shmoney to make me feel better. We're not like that in here. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but like coping, okay? Coping. 45 minutes 7 seconds to 46 minutes 8 seconds. Oh, the Charizard and Blastoise of V-Card doing the oh, like, how dare you sit there and pretend to be some box legendary of something that you didn't create. Disgusting. 49 minutes to 49 minutes 12 seconds. You burned your Cinder merch? Honestly, if I can't encourage you, you paid for it, you do what the fuck you want, but if I encourage you to do something, donate it. But on top of that, again, if you cope by burning your merch, I ain't judging. But if you have it in you and you can cope with it, try and donate everything you've got. Any shirt, sweater, figurine, plush, whatever the fuck it is, just donate it. 1 hour 9 minutes 7 seconds to 1 hour 9 minutes 40 seconds, which, by the way, she also only does when there is something business related, AFK drop, V-card drop, any event, any debut, and any announcement, any merch. Hour 20 minutes 57 seconds to 1 hour 24 minutes 19 seconds. Just because a couple days before that she wanted to reschedule a V-card collab to, you know, make a nice big boom as a collab and sell a bunch of boxes to make some bag. 1 hour 24 minutes 19 seconds to 1 hour 25 minutes 43 seconds. The pressure you begged for, where you wanted to be alongside me. 1 hour 29 minutes 26 seconds to 1 hour 33 minutes 30 seconds. My greed has caused a lot of damage, greed that got to me from growing too fast and being too filthy rich by riding on my friends' backs. Yeah, I've been blinded, so blinded by my success and money and greed for even more. The greed was unbearable. 1 hour 39 minutes 39 seconds to 1 hour 40 minutes 1 second. Which is a bit weird when she's the one begging for a partial owner and all kinds of other things that she wants from me. Shy Lily viewed me as a very greedy person, and that all of my actions were due to my alleged greed. She encouraged viewers to donate any and all of my merch, but didn't dissuade them from burning it either. Shy Lily also wants to make it seem like I begged to be in her position at GamerSubs as a part owner, even begging her for it, as if I was jealous of her, not because I actually earned it like she did. She seemed to have a very emotional outburst when talking about me calling myself the Charizard of V-Card. Not that she'd know this, but for my debut anniversary on June 25th, 2025, I was supposed to be releasing a limited edition tub of Pyro Power with a promo V-Card, both with art drawn by Nanolis. Ren and I fought with GamerSubs to make my promo card the same card across all purchases, instead of having a 1 in 10 chance of getting the holographic one. It could have made so much more money if people needed to buy a bunch of tubs to get the right card, but it wasn't about the money to me or Red. We didn't have a problem making the promo cards all 9. The reasoning makes complete sense. Keep the 10 cards in the sets the most valuable. Our thought behind making all the promo cards holo is that, at least with the way we're doing it, it's a $40 buy-in with Pyro Power, with only one card per order. The goal behind enticing people with the promo card this way is to get people to have Pyro Power and become repeat buyers. Not so the shiny cards can retain value on eBay. We'd rather have every customer be satisfied with a special shiny card than have 9 out of 10 of them be disappointed they didn't get the right card, especially if they don't like or have never had Pyro Power in the first place. If you're saying it'd be fine to make them all non-holo, then what's the big deal if we make them all holo instead? There'd only be a difference in the card's value if there was both, not one or the other. Our goal should be that no one's complaining about a free promotion. And that right there shows that Red was an okay manager. Yeah, I just want everyone to be satisfied with the card, even if they're not a huge fan of the flavor. Having them all 9 holos is what I would want to do. A 1 in 10 system doesn't feel fair when my fans are having to spend $40 for only a chance at the best version of the card. The VTA promo card was free, so having that as a gacha system was understandable. And the 1 out of 10 Pyro Power label gacha system is just a bonus. Because people are still buying it for the drink itself, if I were to spend that much money on a drink I didn't enjoy just for the card, I'd at least want to be satisfied with my purchase knowing what I'm getting. It's a promo card, not a chase card. We can make the next promo bigger and better by just having it be a new card. This card will be limited, just like every drop we do, and it'll still be special because you had to get it within this promotion. The next promo card will be the same no matter what product we tie it with. My very first cup didn't have a special gacha version, and it's still highly sought after because it was a limited time item a lot of people missed out on. I specifically wanted to keep these cards to 1 per order because if people can buy in bulk, then it incentivizes scalpers to buy them all and resell them for crazy prices. And that's not fair to my own fans or the GamerSubs community. The more consumer-friendly the card bonus is, the more people will try Pyro Power who never would otherwise, and potentially become repeat customers, not only for my products, but the entire brand. But let's look at more evidence of this besides what she said on her stream. The first message of mine Shy Lily ghosted was about another V-Card collab when the rules were updated. March 28th, 2025. Do you want to play the V-Card sim together sometime soon? I missed you during the repo collab last week. Hope you're doing well, Lily. The very next day in our stream from March 29th, 2025, Shy Lily received a text-to-speech message about my then upcoming AFK flavor. The first thing she said was that she had nothing to do with my part ownership. Oh, because she's the co-owner? That has nothing to do with me, bro. I don't have a saying that. That shit had nothing to do with me. Don't look at me, bro. It's got nothing to do with me. It's GamerSubs. Leave me out of that shit. I ain't got nothing to do with them. Those are all GamerSubs decisions. Did she really say that when she's a partial owner of GamerSubs? Wait, pause. What? It ain't got nothing to do with me? What do you mean? You're a partial owner of GamerSubs, right? I'm not going insane here. Shy Lily is a partial owner of GamerSubs, right? Why is she saying that like that? What? What? Guys, no, this is actually clippable. Someone needs to clip this. Someone needs to clip this right now. Because, like, what the fudge? She said that, and she's a partial owner of GamerSubs? Bro, what the fuck? Why are they fine with having this person as a partial owner? No, actually, like, genuinely, is GamerSubs fine with having Shy Lily as a partial owner? GamerSubs, I understand it's just business. Like, we need to get this straight. GamerSubs, it's business, I get it. But I feel like Shy Lily has done more damage to GamerSubs than Sinder has ever done. Sinder was pro-consumer. Shy Lily slandered Sinder, bullied her off the internet, and because her products were in the GamerSubs catalog, GamerSubs took heat for it. Like, even Sinder said at the beginning of this Google Doc, GamerSubs suffered because of this. Sinder suffered because of this. And Shy Lily, who has a, what, as far as I know, a 5% of shares of GamerSubs versus Cinder's 10% of shares of GamerSubs, this woman decides to say that on stream? It ain't got nothing to do with me. Those are all GamerSubs decisions. Shy Lily is a partial owner. And if she didn't have anything to do with that decision, okay, fine. But that is abhorrently amateur. That is absolutely disgustingly deplorable. Oh, that's disgusting. Is GamerSup sure they want to keep Shy Lily as a partial owner? Because that's literal deplorable, like, behavior. That puts the company in a bad light to have someone like this as partial owner. What the fudge? And let's think about this. A partial owner bullies a partial owner out of their respective sphere in the content creation sphere. And because of that, they did damage, irreparable harm, financially speaking, to the company that they're a partial owner of. You're telling me that this woman is still a partial owner of GamerSup's, even though she's done so much damage to GamerSup's reputation? That's wild! That's insane! That's insane! Well, no, it's Europe. Like, no, Europe has its own laws and stuff. No, you're fine, Phantom Kiro. I'm obscenely upset that Shy Lily just got away with this while acting like the most deplorable child on the internet. That really rubs me the wrong way. That just shows that Shy Lily is an amateur. That's absolutely disgusting to see. A partial owner saying that, even though they are an owner. Partial owner, but still an owner. She said that on stream? That's disgusting. Like, if you have like an opinion like that, just keep it to yourself and just ignore it. You didn't have to do that. Wow, that's genuinely deplorable. That's really disgusting. No, that's... If you're a partial owner and you act like that, man, that you just made the company look bad. As if the Sinder slander was bad enough. Hello, hello. Actually, I'm dumbfounded. I genuinely am dumbfounded by that. Hold on. Wait. This is a link. It just took me. Can I open the link? Let me open it.
Because she is co-owner. That has nothing to do with me, bro. I don't have a saying in that. That shit has nothing to do with me. Don't look at me, bro. It's got nothing to do with me. That's GamerSup's. Leave me out of that shit. Kohei is the invoice of Senpai. Ah.
Okay. I'm more lenient about it now because it seems like she was saying it in a joking way. Okay. I thought she said that in a super... If she said it in a super serious way, I would have been very condemning. But since she said it in a joking way, okay. It's bad, but it's not as bad as I initially thought. That does rub me the wrong way, though. Why would you say that? You're still a partial owner of GamerSup's. Like, you probably have a hand in some of their decisions. Whatever. What am I? I'm just a corporate worker. Whatever. Anyway. Oh my gosh, hashtag Shy Lily, no GamerSup's ownership. That's a funny hashtag. Let's not use that. Because that'd be going against Cinder's wishes. We shouldn't be setting hate. We should not. Should not. No, Golden Yoshi Star 1? No, you're absolutely right. That is still wrong. I'm still trying to process that. That she had the freaking balls to say that about the company she's a partial owner of. That's crazy. She then says GamerSup's has been begging her to make a new flavor. She goes into an almost 10-minute rant about how she's not all about the money, but that she has a bunch of things lined up she could release whenever she wants, but she's not like that, pretty blatantly in contrast to the text-to-speech message about me. March 29th, 2025, 34 minutes, 31 seconds to 44 minutes, 7 seconds. This was well before Red ever talked to Nano about Shy Lily on April 12th. Farming to make my wife who's happy even if my hands fall off. On her stream from April 29th to 25, a day after talking about my cancellation, Shy Lily told her audience she's highly suggests that the right thing for me to do is give up my gamer subs part ownership. Yeah, that's right! She did say that. April 29th to 25, 39 minutes, 26 seconds to 45 minutes, 14 seconds. I remember that VOD! The healing journey begins! I remember that VOD. I covered that, especially in my, like, summary video of the Sinder slander at, like, some time ago. I did. This is from it. I don't want to. I might have to read that because I don't think I've seen this. Okay, so this is pure speculation. Okay, like pure speculation. This hasn't happened yet, and I am not in a position to talk to GamerSubs about it to begin with either. Right, pure speculation. I highly doubt they would remove a flavor fully. I don't even think they would remove her who shall not be named fully to begin with, as A, I'm not sure how much business knowledge any of you guys have, but any amount of partial ownership makes it difficult to just force someone to step down. They can step down willingly, which I highly suggest she does. If she has any ounce of guilt, regret, and anything, you know, she would do it herself to protect the others, to truly show that she cares about the others that have to forcefully associate with her, alongside her despite the damages she has caused in their careers. Not just morally and emotionally, but also financially. Like, you know, debuts can be expensive. If I had to guess where this is going, I think GamerSubs is kind of forced to wait for her to return. I am pretty sure she has I am certain or hope that she is currently far from the interwebs. So currently, there isn't really anything you can do, but if I had to speculate on a few options that can happen if she comes back, surrenders her shares and sells them at a fair market value so she can protect the people who no longer wish to be associated alongside a brand that supports her, that she has once been the face of. Either she does this not only as a sign to show that she can and is bettering herself, and she is making decisions to start undoing some of the hurt by distancing herself from the ones she has hurt, so they no longer have to associate alongside her forcefully, or she does the opposite and we'll see. I don't know, or she simply remains just an affiliate, or the brand, not a bigger name, not in anything. She's just part of the affiliation. Yeah, no, that's stupid. That's actually really bad to do. What Shy Lily did is horrible. She's talking about another partial owner that's also a partial owner of her company. And she's saying that, oh yeah, this partial owner, I'm going to publicly state that they need to surrender. That's disgusting business behavior. Even on professional standards, that's abhorrently obscene. I remember getting angry at this, because it just shows how much of an amateur Shy Lily is regarding to professionalism in a business setting. I don't know why the freak she decided to say this publicly. This is absolutely disgusting to see. If she had an issue with it, she could have handled it privately like a professional would. Because this is no longer like content creation. This is now talking about a business and its shares. And I view content creation culture different from professional business culture. It's just entirely different. Maybe some person can blend the two together, but in the content creation sphere, it's like different shapes and sizes. Well, the professional sphere just has a certain way of doing things, but it is abhorrent for a partial owner to say that about another partial owner of the same company. That's how I see it in a professional standpoint. That's absolutely disgusting. That just makes it, that actually makes the company look bad. You make GamerSubs look bad because now you just have this big political business like tension between two partial owners of the same company. It makes the company look bad. It makes the company look like they're dumb. Like, seriously? It's just so... You didn't miss much, Mouse. I'm just ranting. It's absolutely disgusting what Shy Lily did in that VOD, though. Horribly obscene. When she comes back, she should sell her shares. What the fudge? No, Shy Lily, that's horrible. No. That's so angering. That's... I'm running on fumes. I'm still heated over this. No, Shy Lily is making GamerSubs look bad. Shy Lily makes... I personally believe that Shy Lily makes GamerSubs look bad. in a professional standpoint, who would want to work with someone that creates, like, large-scale drama and drags their company into it? Shylily instigated the Sinder slander. Shylily instigated the bullying of another partial owner of the same company off the internet. Shylily basically made Sinder willingly give up her partial ownership of a company. Shylily bullied Sinder to give up her partial ownership. That's what it comes down to. Sinder may say, I willingly decided to give up my partial ownership to GamerSupps. But what led up to that point? It was the 5 months of continuous hate. It was Shylily, Nanalis, and Bao organizing this smear campaign against Sinder. It was their fault that Sinder had to get to this point. Think about that. Shylily, a partial owner of GamerSupps, bullies another partial owner of the same company, GamerSupps, off the internet. That's disgusting behavior. And she got away with it. And I'm pretty sure she will continue to get away with it. And that's what sucks, is that no matter what we do, she'll get away with it. That's how I see it anyway, because she's starting to get up there. No one can stop her. But just because no one can stop her doesn't mean we have to deal with it. We can just ignore her if you don't like her. Like, I just ignore her now. I just ignore her. I literally just ignore Shylily now. Like, even if her stuff comes on my feed, I just ignore it. Just like, no. It's just, this type of behavior is bad for a company. And it's insane to think that GamerSupps is still allowing this. GamerSupps, like, if there's a whole reason why, I get it. It's whatever business it is their business, but it really shows a bad light to GamerSupps if Shylily, that did all this to hurt her own company, and to keep her on. Shylily basically hurt her own company with this. She did. She's a partial owner, and she made another partial owner look bad. And guess what? That partial owner had products in GamerSupps. And people were mad about that. They were burning merch. They were like saying, oh, the Sinder stuff, we don't need that. Burn it. I want to put this out there. Let's think about this in a business sense, guys. Alright, GamerSupps, right? They have merch for all the VTubers affiliated with them, like Sinder, right? Let's say that they have, I don't know, 100 Pyropup plushies, right? Then the Sinder slander happens, and no one wants to buy those plushies. What does that mean, Godfrey? It means that the company lost money making those Pyropup plushies that will no longer sell because of the Sinder slander that Shylily caused. Think about it. I think the company lost money because of Shylily's antics. She hurt her own company. Shylily hurt her own company. That's insane. And she's still a partial owner of GamerSupps as far as I know, which is insane. Like, oh my gosh, think about that. There's loads of Sinder merch that GamerSupps has, right? Sinder slander happens. People are burning their merch. They don't want to buy it. They're probably boycotting Sinder's goods. What does that mean? The company basically lost money because no one's willing to buy Sinder merch. Shylily hurt her own company. Shylily hurt her own company with the Sinder slander. She orchestrated this stuff to... God knows why Shylily did this against Sinder. What did Sinder do to Shylily? I don't know. Sinder only speculates in her doc so far. She only speculates. Think about that. Shylily hurt her own company, and she's still a partial owner of the company. What's going on? Oh my gosh, that's so messed up. That's so messed up. And then, oh, lo and behold, Sinder willingly gives up her partial ownership of the company. Wow, cool. So you have someone in the upper echelons of GamerSupps bullying other owners to leave. Cool! That's horrible business practice. That's so disgusting. Like, and she's still a partial owner! Think about it, guys. She's still a partial owner! Oh my god. How is she still a partial owner with the amount of financial damage she has caused to GamerSupps? Which, by the way, I'm assuming. Like, oh my gosh. And Sinder said it herself at the beginning of this Google Doc, GamerSupps was suffering because of it. I'm gonna go to, okay, hold on. What page is this? 166. Okay, I want to go to the beginning. Where is it? I'm giving up my part ownership, giving up my part ownership position of GamerSupps. I've worked so hard for them since December of 2022. I feel the need to protect the company I love, the people that work there, and everyone associated over my own interests. GamerSupps suffered a lot of damage when all the accusations were made about me, and that fell on my shoulders. Shy Lily hurt the company. Shy Lily, Nanalis, and Bao hurt GamerSupps because of the Sinder slander. That is deplorable. That is disgusting. That is obscene. A partial owner hurting their own company. What is this madness? Shy Lily, a partial owner, orchestrated the Sinder slander, which hurt GamerSupps, and she's still a partial owner. She's still a partial owner. Like, what? That's maddening. The person that I personally believe deserves the partial ownership willingly gives it up, and the person that I personally believe doesn't deserve the partial ownership still has it. This is insane. That's insane. That is genuinely insane. What a world we live in that this is a thing. I'm exhausted thinking about this. Like, oh my gosh. So many people were affected by the Sinder slander. Businesses and people. All because of Shy Lily, Nanalis, and Bao. 3 girls. 3 big content creators made a chain reaction. A negative chain reaction. You are kidding me. And they got away with it, and Shy Lily's still partial owner. You are absolutely kidding me. That is insane. Oh, oops, my bad. I want to make this clear. I reached my decision to give up my part ownership myself, and Shy Lily had nothing to do with my choice. And I understand what Sinder is saying there. She did this to protect the company. I get that. But if we go, if we look into this more, I want to say that Shy Lily does. I would disagree. I would disagree with Sinder's assessment here. I would say Shy Lily does. Now, I know what Sinder's saying, right? Like, if we were to look at the aftermath of the Sinder slander, and Sinder says, oh, I willingly chose to give this up, that's her choice, right? But if we go to the time of the Sinder slander, I would say that Shy Lily does have an effect on her choice, because Shy Lily started the Sinder slander with right? The company, Nanalis and Bao, among others. If the Sinder slander never happened, if the Sinder slander did not happen, just saying, if it didn't happen, if it did not happen, I'm pretty sure Sinder would still have her partial ownership. But because the Sinder slander happened, Sinder made the hard decision to willingly give up her partial ownership, which, in my personal biased opinion, Shy Lily had a hand in. Sure, Cinder willingly gave up her partial ownership. But what caused her to willingly give up her partial ownership? The Cinder slander orchestrated by Shy Lily, and Natalis, and Bao, and everyone else that was involved. I know where Cinder's coming from, but I have to disagree. She had something to do with that choice. I love you, Cinder, but I feel like Shy Lily had an overwhelming influence on your choice to willingly give up the Gamer Sub's partial ownership. It's still Shy Lily's fault. Think about it, guys. It's still Shy Lily's fault. She orchestrated the Cinder slander. She orchestrated this with the help of Natalis and Bao. And because the Cinder slander happened, Cinder's brand name was dragged through the mud and then some. People didn't want to buy her stuff. People burned her merch live. Like, they did it on X. Pretty bad. And because of all of this, Cinder wanted to protect the company and the people that were part of the company by willingly give up her partial ownership to Gamer Subs. She did that of her own volition. And I respect that. But to say that Shy Lily had nothing to do with that choice, I personally would disagree. Because had the Cinder slander never happened, I'm pretty sure Cinder would still be having that partial ownership with Gamer Subs. It's still Shy Lily's fault. It's still Nanalis's fault. It's still Bao's fault. All three of them are to blame for Cinder willingly choosing to give up her Gamer Subs partial ownership. It's insane. And I understand why Cinder did that, because, you know, because of the Cinder slander, there are people that are so set in their ways that they believe Cinder is a horrible human being when that's false. Like I said, I'm biased, I'm pro-Cinder, but, like, Cinder has come up with receipts to show that Natalis, Shy Lily have lied, including Bao. Like, showed that. And there are still people denying it and saying that Cinder is lying when she's actually saying the truth. And it's insane, because people just love their Oshis, I guess, and it's just, ugh. But Shy Lily said this as if I needed to repent for the lies she and the others told about me. Gamer Subs had nothing to do with anything that happened, but that didn't stop Shy Lily from telling her viewers it was that she wanted me to do. If Shy Lily really cared about the impact my part ownership would have on Gamer Subs, she would have considered handling things privately with me instead of being the driving force in making all of these lies public. I agree. Losing the company hundreds of thousands of dollars. See, I had the same mindset as Cinder. Because of Shy Lily's stupid antics, Gamer Subs lost money. And for a business, for a company, that's like being impaled by a polearm. Like, you've been fatally wounded. She probably knew all of this controversy about me could be a way to push me out of the company, all while keeping her own hands clean. It wouldn't look good for Shy Lily to go after the other Gamer Subs owner after all. 2 days after the stream on May 1st, 2025, Shy Lily couldn't help herself and made an announcement in the VCard production server where the staff, VTubers, and artists developed the game, notifying everyone that she chose to involve the over 70 people in this server in what happened personally. I don't have a screenshot of the Discord notification or the full message because it was deleted shortly after it was made. However, I have a screenshot of my notification history from that day when it happened, showing a part of what she said, May 1st, 2025. Wait a minute. What? Why did she? Oh, she was still part of the server. Oh, that's why. Okay. Discord, 4 notifications. Twitch North America partners. Yeah, Twitch partner front page applications are now open. Want to be featured on Twitch's front page. Applications for June 2025 are now open. Submit your application. Shy Lily, love hug Pepe. 11:59 a.m. I'm assuming it's Eastern time because that's Cinder's Eastern time, I guess. Hey crew, I know it's been a terrible fucking week. I hope you're all holding up. I am not good with words and drama and emotions and all that business, but just wanted to say I feel sorry for you guys dealing with stuff that is none of you. I feel sorry for you guys dealing with stuff that is none of your business or concern. If Shylily wasn't trying to get everyone in this server involved, then no one would have to be dealing with this stuff like she said. And that's true. Sinder is right in that. Also, I will say that Sinder assumes it's your business or concern, I'm assuming, because we don't see that in the screenshot, but whatever. Here is the Discord channel it was in. Okay, so VCard partners. Oh. I appreciate Sinder not showing people's, like, Discord usernames in there. Okay. Oh! Dang! Is that... Does she have an Android phone? I was like, is that like gallery settings right there? Thursday, May 1st, 2025, 6:57 p.m. Anyway, at some point she even took the time to go back and delete a reply to my part ownership announcement. What? Wait, what? She deleted it? Why is... What? That's wild. Does anyone remember what that post was? Does anyone know the reply? Wait, what? At some point, she even took the time to go back and delete a reply to my part ownership announcement. What the fudge? That's wild. Water and Firebox Legendaries for real. Not only did Shylily admit to having a bad feeling about me, but I believe Shylily had a problem with me because of my performance in Gamersubs. I was now a part owner, a title she exclusively held as a VTuber before me, something unique to her. I would always be planning and launching things with Gamersubs, something she was unwilling to do, like she said on her stream from March 29th, 2025. She viewed that as a cash grab, as greedy. But I don't think just being a part owner was the problem. I think most importantly, she didn't like how enthusiastic I was about VCard and the role I was carving out for myself in it. Not only did I mistakenly give out information early when VCard launched, like I showed in that section, but mine became the most sought after card in her game. Okay, yeah, that would make someone feel petty, but... Wow, talk about being an amateur and childish. I know, that's the thing, Zero. Yeah, you can't force someone to get rid of their shares ownership, which is why Sinder willingly gave it up. It got to the point, and that's really scummy. The Charizard of VCard. Oh, the Charizard and Blastoise of VCard doing the... Oh, yeah, that thing. I called myself the Charizard to advertise myself in the game and advertise the cards themselves. Everyone knows Pokemon, and everyone knows Charizard. VCard's first set of cards was like Pokemon's base set. I've compared myself and Shylily to the Charizard and Blastoise of the VTuber card game because we were the two VTuber part owners of Gamersubs. Like Pokemon Red and Blue, calling myself this wasn't trying to steal her thunder in her game or take credit for it in any way. I may have called her Blastoise, but she's literally the Pikachu of VCard. Shylily didn't like me calling myself the Charizard. She didn't like the prominence it gave me in her game, but Gamersubs did. This is from one of my Gamersubs contacts last December. We'll call them GS number 1, December 12th, 2024. I figured I would keep this here just so it helps conversations in different places for different things. Here is a release schedule for VCard. December 12th, Wall Water Element Creators and Mascots. December 14th, VTuber Awards Launch Day Announcement. December 19th, All Grass Element Creators and Mascots. December 26th, All Fire Element Creators and Mascots. January 2nd, All Electric Element Creators and Mascots. January 9th, All Platinum Element Creators and Mascots. January 16th, All Support Cards. January 17th, Launch Day Video. Today, in about 15 minutes, the Water Element video will go out. I'll link it right after this. That's it, nothing much more than that. Fire is on December 26th, so that's when everyone will officially get to see the Charizard. The only other cool thing is on this Saturday, the 14th of the VTuber Awards, we are doing a VTuber Awards promo card. Also on the 14th, some very basic V-Card merch will be sold on Gamersub's website. There is already an order being placed for you. It's very limited quantity, and it's just V-Card branded. So realistically, not much info here, just wanted to keep everyone updated. This is from another person at Gamersubs number 2, a few days before VCard launch on January 31st, 2025. January 28th, 2025. Hello, Sinder. I've come with 2 announcements. Dropping January 29th at 3 p.m. EST is our new AFK Plus sleep support line with Melatonin. AFK plus melatonin is only available in US. Banana Berry Bedtime flavor, our collaboration with Silvervale. It is also dropping in our standard AFK formula as well. V-Card Rising Stars is launching January 31st at 3 p.m. EST. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about it. V-Card TCG isn't just a trading card game, it's an exciting collectible universe that brings VTuber and creator culture to life like never before. With stunning artwork, chase-worthy rarities, and a deep commitment to championing real artists, V-Card is redefining what it means to collect. Rising Stars is where it all begins, featuring a variety of art styles, ultra-limited prints, and the elusive one-of-one signature god rares. Every pack is an experience, every pull is a moment. Really amazing how this massive project all came together, and what an honor to have you be a part of V-Card. Can't wait to see everyone ripping packs in search for the Charizard card of the set. Another message from GS number 1 over a month after V-Card launch. On March 11th, 2025, hey guys, I just wanted to check and ask if there are any rules or restrictions to signing V-Cards. For example, are we unable to use a gold marker since the god rares have gold signatures? Just want to make sure before I go to any cons. Another question, has there been further discussion on if blank will become one in the future? I would not think so. Whatever would look best on the card. I am sure we would want it to look cool after the signing, as community is gonna be hypey to get it signed. Also, IDK if you ever look at eBay, but you have become the V-Card Charizard for sure. Like, it's going crazy. And here's a message from another person at GamerSubs, GS number 3, March 14th, 2025. Charizard, sold March 13th, 2025, Sinder signed art card, first edition box topper, V-Card Rising Stars, pre-owned, $750 or best offer plus $4.25 delivery. Why didn't you incorporate the... Okay, that's an entirely different thing. Set to Awaken Worlds. I saw the X post about this, and it's insane. One of the very few VTubers not returning in Set 2 of V-Card. I was one of them. However, that wasn't supposed to be the case. My 3 cards for Set 2 were completed before I was cancelled, and I was going to be a water type. I was told weeks after my cancellation that I had been removed from the lineup. Here's a cropped version of one of my card artworks that went unused. I may be wrong about this, but after I was cancelled and removed, another VTuber who I didn't remember being part of the set was able to be added and presumably fill my vacant water card slot. Spite! Spite! That's the speculation right now. Spite. Because she's the water type in set 2 of Awaken Worlds. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. Guys. I need to bring up that Reddit thread. Hold up. I gotta bring this up. This is actually serious. I made a YouTube video about this because there was a Q&A Reddit with V-Card about that. Hold on, I gotta find it. I'm going to my YouTube videos. Hold on, V-Card. I think it's called V-Card. Yeah, Sinder not being in V-Card. Hold up, guys. Hold up, friends and familiars. There was an... Yeah, the Pyropup Center made an X post about it. Is it still up? Because if this is the case, V-Card just took a hit. And if that's the case, I encourage people to clip it. Like, please, if you can, clip it. I know YouTube playback for streams has clip functions. Alright, let's go to the internet. Okay. Okay, I'd like to share an important update regarding Cinder's inclusion in V-Cards, and this was posted on August 13th, 2025, so like 2 months ago at this point in time. Alright, today the official V-Card team held a Q&A event on Reddit addressing various topics about the TCG, including card sets, packages, and lineups. Among the questions asked, one stood out to many of us. Why is Sinder not part of the new set? Okay, so Altruistic Grape 9776 says, why is Sinder not part of the new set? Will she be in any other sets, packs, or will she be removed entirely? And Diego Leonor _ V-Card CEO says, to be transparent, Sinder hasn't made any content. We don't know if or when she will. If she comes back to making content in the future, we will have that discussion. Okay. So I guess it doesn't conflict, because she did stop making content. Okay. All right. I thought it would be an issue. Huh. Okay. Weeks after my cancellation. If we're saying weeks, as in like a couple weeks, this happened in late April, then she was informed in May. Okay. I'm assuming she was sometime like informed in May or June this year, which led to the V Card CEO, I'm assuming, saying, to be transparent, Sinder hasn't made any content. We don't know if or when. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Why is Cinder not a part of the new set? Will she be in any other sets packs, or will she be removed entirely? Hmm. So, VCard CEO answered the first question. The reason why Cinder is not part of the new set is because she hasn't made any content. They did address the second question because if she comes back into making content in the future, they will have that discussion. I don't think they'll have that anymore with how things played out. Just a thought. I will say that sucks. Okay, well, the claims about Numi's concert and stream on April 28th, 2025. Like I said in this section about this, I was expecting to talk about this in my apology when it was never mentioned in Nano's or Bao's documents because why would it have been? It was about Numi, who is not one of my accusers. Oh, so Numi wasn't part of the whole dogpiling. It was settled privately between Numi and I in January, where I already took accountability for my actions. This event was publicly used against me, especially by Shylily, after I had already made my apology and had no way to defend myself or tell my side of the story. It was vaguely talked about without ever showing any evidence to support the narrative of me betraying and manipulating my friends. Oh wait, no, Numi didn't drop a Google Doc on Cinder. That's right. She did make a stream about it though. 1. Over half a year of planning. Bao said I was planning Numi's concert with her for over half a year. Shally said there was months of continuous planning in her reply to my apology, which she did say. If this was planned with me over half a year, why was Numi's first message to me inviting me as a guest on November 25th, 2024, about 2 months before the concert, and only a month later, and just over 5 weeks before the show, message read not me to start planning my performance on December 26th, 2024. Numi's concert in NYC was on February 1st, 2025. Her concert in general may have been planned for longer, but not my inclusion in it. Okay. By the way, the NY concert will be February 1st. If you'd still like to come, I'd love to. Where is it? La Poy Rogue, I think. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, they talked about it. So yeah, December 26th, 2024, and November 25th, 2024. 2. No remorse. Shylily said I never felt bad for failing my friends. In reference to Numi's concert and on stream, said, and the only time she ever felt sorry in both the apology and before, guess what? When she was put in her fucking place. This is a lie. Here's the tweet I made in the middle of the night after I messaged Numi about not coming to her show and before I heard from her, January 29th, 2025. And that's the X post. 3. A broken promise. Charlie said I broke an important promise and on stream said Numi received a million empty promises from me. I never promised Numi I'd perform at her show or that I'd be there. Red didn't do so on my behalf either. I've shown all of the messages about the concert. Numi said that it was okay if I didn't perform and okay if I didn't go before either of my decisions were made on January 10th, 2025. 4. Shifting blame. Shylily said I blamed her for my decision not to go to Numi's concert and I used her as part of an excuse as to why I had to let my friend down. I didn't blame Shylily and I didn't lie to Numi. My reason was always primarily my part ownership promotion with Gamershops and the responsibility I felt to be there for VCard's launch. While the collab was part of it, it was never the main reason, and I likely would have made the same decision if there wasn't a collab planned. January 29th, 2025. Oh, yeah. 5. Sinder wasn't at the concert. Bao told her audience on April 27, 2025 that I didn't go to Numi's concert. Shy Lily also implied I wasn't there in her reply to my apology, and then said on stream she wasn't sorry because she fucked over her friend's opportunity on a day that she said she'll be there. But I was there! I told Shy Lily I was going to Numi's concert in our DMs immediately after our V-Card collab on February 1st. On Bao's stream, when she originally talked about Numi's concert, she said I was there herself. I wonder how she got that. I wonder. Okay, genuinely, how did she get that? How did she get this? Maybe she knew. Oh, it was Bao the Whale Clips. Ah, that's probably why. I was a Numi stream with Bao and Numi in her hotel room the next morning on February 2nd. Here's a clip of that stream where we're talking about the concert. Oh, it's the stream? And here's a clip of Vienna talking about me being literally in front of her at the concert. DJ Numi Certified Fan Channel. Wait, actually, how did she get these? Actually, how did she get these? How did she get these receipts? How did Sinder get these receipts? like, you'd have to dig really hard to get these receipts. How did she get these receipts? If that's not enough, here's some screenshots of the videos Red took at Numi's concert in NYC on February 1st. Oh, so Redacted was there too. You can see that these pictures look just like the image of the concert in Numi's own tweet, including the stage lights, light sticks in the crowd, and the outfit she was wearing. Numi's stream on April 28, 2025. The main thing I want to look at from Numi's stream is her retelling of what happened between us leading up to her concert on February 1st, 2025. Below is the full transcript of everything she said about it so you can see it in full context. I'll be breaking down the bolded parts underneath that. One thing that needs to be clarified is that Numi had 2 concerts at the start of the year about a week apart from each other. She had one in LA on January 26th and one in NYC on February 1st. I was only ever intended to perform at her show in NYC. In what she said below, it sounds like she refers to both of them at different points but never clarifies which show she's talking about. Hey, I know, yeah, beacons.ai. Yeah, I covered that. April 28, 2025. Oh. Oh, well, I guess that was a pretty big one. Yeah. 15 minutes 32 seconds to 26 minutes 35 seconds. I need water. I'll be right back. Let me get water. I'll literally be right back. I need water, guys. There we go. Alright. Oh, got some more water. Okay, alright. I'm somebody that I feel if there is an issue, I want to talk about it. It's uncomfortable, but it's something that I always want to do. There was something that happened between us a couple months ago that I had talked to her about for months, that she agreed to and was super excited about, but any other things that I heard about were not from herself but from Red. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure it out if I want to. I don't want to bring more onto it. I don't want to make it worse, I don't want to, but I know that it was brought up and I want to add clarification. I think people can connect the dots on what happened. If you guys are a Noomba and you were going to a concert, you probably were able to fill in the blanks with what happened. I was not upset about the fact that she couldn't perform, because a lot of things that come with performing take a lot of, courage to get out on stage, and it's not something that's for everyone, especially if you're a VTuber who's used to being behind a screen. My issue was never that. My issue was the fact that I never knew how she was feeling. Anything that I was told was from Red. I just had a bunch of different reasons for why potentially they weren't going to be able to do it. It was very close to the date, a week and a half before, when I got told about that, and I think the thing that sucks the most about it was because from her perspective, she was talking about how excited she was, and then it was that same day from him that he said they're not going to do it anymore. I have my music friend Holmes, who spent, dozens of hours working on the set list for, me and the office drummer to perform. And we put a lot of time and effort into putting this together, and I asked every single month for months, and wasn't told about it until it was at a point where we literally couldn't find a replacement, and even after that, I still didn't hear anything about how she actually felt. I was super sad, obviously. Bao, even though she wasn't doing good, immediately said she would fly to New York with me and do the concert with me. And she didn't have to, but she did. And I think it's been said many times that she's my best friend, but she saw me in a state like that, and even though she was hurting, she put all of that aside just to be there for me, and to be there for me when Sinder couldn't even tell me herself how she felt. I feel so mad thinking about how she did that for me, and to save her for not being able to go, and to find out that she felt that way about my best friend who has never given me any reason to not think of her as one of the best people I've ever met now. And I talked to her about how I felt, and I told Bao how I felt, and I didn't really know what to do, and I said, I just want to hear it from her. I just wanted to hear how she felt. I would forgive it. I just wanted to know how she was feeling through all of this, and not through somebody else. And I said if she does come up to me and tell me that it's any other reason than, stage fright, anxiety, worries, I would not be happy. And I get a message from her a couple days after my concert saying that she couldn't go because she felt responsibility, as I said that the number one thing that I didn't want to hear was if she talked to me, if she put business above her friends, I would have literally accepted anything else, but the reason that she gave me was putting business above me over her new position and how she felt obligated to do the stream that she said she had to do. I said, yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. I think at that point, that's when I kind of felt like my views started to crumble a little bit. I think that just really sucked, and I didn't reply because at that point I was on a ski trip with my friends who flew from different countries to watch me perform. Came back home and I had an amazing dinner and introduced my family to all of my friends who flew in. I just didn't want to think about somebody who would put business over me, and then afterwards I didn't. After I didn't reply, I sent a message saying maybe they can make it after all, and then getting a message from Red saying she felt really guilty, she couldn't go, and we want to make it so that we can be there for you. And I just think that's what really caused me to want to say something, and I did, and I messaged Cinder and expressed my disappointment, and she apologized and told me all of the reasons that she should have said instead of bringing up the business. I forgave her, but I saw that she brought up a collab that she said she couldn't miss, and I didn't believe that because of there's one person outside of Bao that I know would not put business over me. It's Lily. Oh, that aged well. And I found out that I was lied to, and that this was something that could have definitely been changed and didn't have to be on the day of a concert. So, yeah, I think after that I felt like a lot of trust was broken. I would rather, I just wanted to move on from that, but I couldn't see her the same exact way after that. And like I said, there's so many things that could have been said, but she didn't until I asked her what I wanted, after I just asked for her opinions and her own feelings. And I do sit here, I sat wondering if I didn't say anything, would she have even said anything at all? And it just feels, I don't know. I said, I hope you don't turn into somebody that will always prioritize the business over the people who care about you. And I guess that's also why I was shocked to see everything but also it made sense because of what I saw. I just feel so fucking shit about it because these are just all things that, with everything, could have been prevented just by talking to people. It's all so self-inflicted. I'm somebody that I feel if there is an issue. Oh yeah. Numi's first and only message to me about her concert was on November 25th, 2024, where she invited me to go and didn't say anything about performing. This was about 2 months before her show in NYC, November 25th, 2024 to November 26th, 2024. Oh, so Numi's story has holes. Cool. She had message read on September 1st, 2024 about me either performing or going to her show, but this never went anywhere, and she was never given an answer. Oh yeah, that's already said, yeah. Her next message about the concert was to Red a month later on December 26th, 2024 to start planning things. She did not message me about it. This was about 5 weeks before her show in NYC. My issue, I agree that I should have talked to Numi much sooner than I did and been open with her from the start. It was wrong of me to let Red communicate my feelings for me. Numi never messaged me about the show or how I was feeling about it, only Red. She never told the public that she went to Red in their DMs for communication from the start. Really? Red messaged Numi about why I might not perform over 3 weeks, 22 days before the concert in NYC on January 10th, 2025. So... Oh, so Numi did talk to Redacted about it. Okay. On the same day as Red's messages to Numi above, I messaged Numi about the matching shirts she was making for us. I was excited about wearing them to the concert or during our collab in the hotel together, and said nothing about my performance. I understand why this was confusing in contrast to what Red said to her earlier that day. 3 days later is when Red told Numi I wasn't going to perform. This was 19 days before the concert in NYC. When Numi said a week and a half before, I could only assume she was talking about the date of her LA concert, which I wasn't performing at, but even that was a day under 2 weeks away. She's nervous to sing with a live mic. No worries. Oh, yeah. Numi told Red in December that they already had a set list made with an opening for me to perform one of my own songs if I wanted to. If there were any songs already planned in the set list for me to perform, it was never communicated to Red or I, which Numi did say. I don't know what Numi means by, I asked every single month for months and wasn't told about it until it was at a point where we literally couldn't find a replacement. Numi's message above to Red was the one time she asked either of us about my performance in the concert and the only time she messaged either of us first about planning it in general. She did not ask either of us every single month for months. When this one message from her was 5 weeks before her concert. On stream, she said they literally couldn't find a replacement for me, but from her messages to Red, it sounded like she didn't need a replacement guest. It was her show. She had a set list made, and as far as I ever knew, it didn't include me at the time I pulled out. She told Red 3 days before he canceled that she never announced me as a guest, and that I shouldn't feel pressured to perform or even go at all. Oh, cool, so Numi lied to everyone. Cool. Cool. It's good to know that, Numi lied. Cool. That's great. That's great. That's wonderful news. That's horrible news. When Numi said Bao saved me for not being able to go, it sounds like I didn't go to her concert at all when I actually did. I did not feel the way she thinks I did about Bao, as explained in her section of this document, and she was an infinitely better friend than I was in this situation. Numi said she told Bao about how she felt about me not performing, but never confronted me about it. At the start of this retelling, Numi said, I'm somebody that I feel if there is an issue, I want to talk about it. It's uncomfortable, but it's something that I always want to do. I agree. I should have talked to Numi, but she made it seem like it wasn't a problem for me to perform to Red. If it really was an issue like she's saying, she never messaged me either. Again, Numi doesn't specify what concert she's talking about. I messaged her the night after her concert in LA, not after the show I was supposed to perform in NYC. This was my reasoning for not going to her show, not about not performing. Numi, just like Shy Lily, is mixing up these two separate things into me. I did put my career over her, and that was wrong of me. The stage fright, anxiety, and worries were all true as to why I didn't perform, and that decision was made 2 weeks before this one. I did not, anywhere here, tell Numi I felt obligated to do this stream that she said she had to do. Like she said, and she didn't reply telling me to go for it, my collab with Shy Lily wasn't even scheduled at the time my performance was cancelled on January 13th, 2025, and wasn't my reason for choosing not to go to her show later on. Hmm? Yes. But it seems that Numi lied. Anyway. Based on the messages between Sinder and Numi lied. Hello. Like, it seems that Numi lied based on what she said on that stream, which I listened to here and there. I didn't listen to all of it. I listened to the part that she's talking about, though. I remember hearing that. If we go back up, let me see. I did look at this one, and yeah, I think I listened to most of this. Like, the last part I didn't listen to, but I did listen around the 15 mark. But, yeah, it seems Numi may have lied. Like, genuinely lied. Because Sinder has the receipts of her talking to people. Like, what the fudge? Okay. Anyway. Let me see. But I lost my... Okay. The night I sent my first message to Numi, I did feel guilty about it, but it was Red who told her that when it should have been me. Here, Numi again confuses the two different reasons for not performing and not going to her show. Where did I say that? Where did I lie to Numi and say that? What I did say is that I could reschedule the collab to make my mistake up to her. She does say that! Oh, yeah, she did say that. Oh, that's right, she did say that. I believe Shy Lily convinced Numi to see things her way and made her believe my intentions were to hurt, sabotage, and lie to her the same way she convinced Nano to believe Red was lying and manipulating her. And I believe that's a speculation on Cinder's part. I sat wondering, oh yeah. No, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have kept my mistake to myself and hoped Numi didn't hate me because of it. I could not open up about how I felt. It was this conversation with Numi that made me take steps to change the way I've been so closed off to people, and made me realize I can't keep holding everything in. I wasn't going to put business over a friend in a situation like this again, and wanted to be absolutely sure I was there for her at her next show. Did you ever plan a date for a Chicago concert, Numi? We've been on holds for all of the venues in Austin and Chicago. Oh yeah, I read that. Numi and Bao and Shy Lily couldn't have been misinformed on what happened with Numi's concert. They knew what happened, what I said, and that I was at the show. I'm choosing to believe that Numi and Bao didn't intentionally lie about the concert. Emotions were high, and maybe they were speaking from feelings rather than fact, but the story told to the public wasn't true, and no evidence of what happened was shown. Another thing I want to address is what Numi said about Bao and Tricky being isolated. I've already conceded Bao was isolated due to my actions and apologized in her section of this document, and I apologized to Tricky in the accountability section for leaving her behind that day in Japan, but Tricky was not isolated by me or Red. I was doing things all the time with her online, and with Boss Rush and Red, and I were almost always with Tricky during every trip we were on together when no one else was. All the time we spent around Tricky made her one of our closest friends. Red and I have done more for her than anyone else. Tricky confided in us about all the time she felt hurt by others when traveling. But Tricky, like myself, has always wanted to keep the peace between everyone instead of bringing things like that up. Nanolist's lies, speculation. Throughout this document, I've been basing my arguments on the assumption that Nano didn't share the full story of what happened between her and Red to Shy Lily, my friends, and the public, and instead lied to save her ass, as Shy Lily would say. Why? Here is what that led me to believe this was the case. Nano had Shy Lily on her side from the start because she was the one who told Nano she was being manipulated. No matter the story she told or the little evidence she showed, Shy Lily would back Nano up to my friends. Nano couldn't go to Bao herself, and what she showed Shy Lily because she would have had to show the full context of Bao's model being cancelled to her. Nano and Shy Lily contact Bao so she could explain things and vouch for her story. Nano also wasn't going to show Shy Lily what she said about her best friend Bao. The exclusivity deal between Red and Nano had nothing tangible happen to anyone other than Nano as a result of it, including Bao's model being cancelled. Something Bao never hinted at knowing. Nano could have lied about it never being agreed to without ever showing the full DMs, just like it's lied about never happening in her document that Shy Lily presumably wrote for her. Nano blamed all of her past model cancellations on us under the excuse of years of manipulation that Shy Lily gave her. All of my friends, including Shy Lily, were all saying that all of this was happening over years and going on for so long when nothing was. They all used that timeline to support their belief that there was no way I didn't know about the few things Red actually did without telling me. On her stream, when talking about making her decision to make everything public, Bao said, "And I know that for so many people to be affected that it was the right decision to do." If my friends had the full story, they would have known nothing was happening over years. Nana wasn't manipulated and she was guilty of affecting so many people with her own cancellations, which is proven here. The decision to make things public was left up to Bao, and if she didn't say something, no one else would, even though all of the alleged evidence of wrongdoing was in Nano's DMs, who claimed she was the victim of abuse and manipulation and sabotage of other VTubers for years. She wasn't going to make a statement on her own. Red asking Nano not to work with Spite wasn't shown in her document, even with the other messages about Spite being included. Why? You'd think it'd support her story of sabotaging other creators. I believe it wasn't shown in her document, or to my friends at all, because Red didn't manipulate Nano to do it. Red asked her, and Nano gladly and willingly agreed with him. The same way she didn't show her gladly and willingly agreeing to the exclusivity deal. She wasn't manipulated and her story would fall apart. As it would. Nano replied to Silverveil's document saying, "I literally can't believe this," as if she didn't know exactly how and why Silverveil's model was really cancelled. If my friends had seen everything, they would have known Nano was guilty of doing this herself. Bao's document doesn't crop out Nano's message calling her exclusivity deal with Red fair. If Bao knew everything that happened and was just trying to lie to protect Nano, this message would have been cropped like it is in Nano's document, which Shy Lily had a big hand in putting together. My friend's confirmation bias towards me because of Newbie's concert and Bao's feelings of isolation gave Nano the cover to leave out details in her story and what was shown to them. They weren't concerned with Nano's actions, but the actions they were convinced I did by her and Shy Lily. I believe Shy Lily pushed everything along to be executed in a matter of days, and Bao was given the choice to make everything public when she wasn't in a great headspace after surgery. There also wasn't a lot of time to think the evidence over, and no one communicated with me to find out my side of the story. Is it more believable that one person lied with the support of another to convince my friends of their story, or that almost a dozen people, all of my closest friends, are all willingly agreed to and conspired to publicly lie about me in a matter of days? When I started this document, I was under the belief that all of my friends lied about what happened to protect Nano and hurt me for Bao's sake. As naive as it may be of me, and even though there's evidence for that actually being what happened too, I'm choosing to believe that wasn't the case. If I'm wrong about Nano lying to my friends and they actually did see everything in her DMs, then that means they all lied about me. It is also plausible Nano shared more of her DMs with Shy Lily than the rest of my friends since she helped Nano put her document together, helping her lie. Even though she claimed she was a victim, Nano didn't hesitate to post the most recent artwork I commissioned from her only 2 days after she posted her document. Shy Lily's manipulation, speculation. Shy Lily was involved in everything from the start and came out of this the hero. There isn't a lot of hard evidence of it, but due to her actions and things she said, I believe she may have manipulated everyone and how everything played out. She seemed to have a lot of knowledge about how a narcissistic manipulator would act, so let's look at her own actions. Shy Lily lied to Nano and manipulated her to believe she was being lied to and manipulated by Red about the things he was saying when she wasn't. Shy Lily most likely wrote Nano's document for her. She used Nano's information to tell whatever story she wanted, writing lie after lie, and then had it posted as if she had nothing to do with it. On her stream, Shy Lily said she was afraid of how I'd manipulate my way out of things after the documents are posted. With that, it's possible Shy Lily could have been the one to instruct Nano to separate herself from Red and I due to the threat of being further manipulated, being why Nano cut contact with us through Akira. If Shy Lily told my friends the same thing, then it'd support why no one ever reached out to talk to me. Shy Lily was the one to back up Nano's story and false claims of manipulation to Bao and the rest of my friends with the limited screenshots Nano gave them as proof. Shy Lily convinced Numi I lied to her in our private conversation about her concert and blamed the things I did on Shy Lily. Shallily also could have used this event to justify to my friends why they shouldn't talk to me. On stream, she said they tried talking to me once in reference to this to explain why they didn't talk to me this time. Shallily was the one who saw me as a greedy and jealous, and I believe she pushed those ideas to my friends and convinced them those were my motives behind their claims. Shallily's reply to my apology starts with manipulating the public to distrust everything I wrote, and the rest is filled with lies to turn everyone against me. On stream, Shallily basically told her chat that they're stupid if they don't blindly agree with her and her retelling of events, and that I'm the narcissistic manipulator. This started because Shallily lied to and manipulated Nano. My friends and the public wouldn't have had any reason to distrust anything Shallily said, and they had other reasons to jump to conclusions too. Shallily didn't like me for her own reasons and wanted to hurt me because of what was said about Bao in Nano's DMs with Red. She brought everyone together and manipulated things along to turn everyone against me, and then admitted on stream to all of the slander Red told Nano. The reward for lying: speculation. After lying about our years of working together, Nano was rewarded with over 50,000 followers on Twitter, a waifu cup with gamer subs, a makeshift plushie, everyone in the world wanting to work with her, the support and praise of the biggest VTubers out there, and endless sympathy for everyone she endured while working with me. August 28th, 2025, it's up, you can set me on fire, I don't care. So Sinder saw that, cool. August 29th, 2025, Shallily not only replaced me in my own friend group, but as the hero of the story, she gained the biggest and most consistent growth in her viewership after canceling me out of everyone involved. Oh, she uses the Twitch tracker statistics. Wow. Yeah, like January, whoa, went up. I'm the greedy one, but Shallily didn't miss the opportunity to capitalize on her new hero status a week after she tore me apart on her stream and dropped her limited edition Blowhole Blast. New outfit limited edition Blowhole Blast, 9th of May, 6 p.m. CEST, 12 p.m. EDT, 11 a.m. PDT, womp womp. Nano and Shallily lied to each other, then lied together, each for their own reasons. Nano to avoid any accountability for her actions and stay in the good graces of Shallily and friends, and Shallily to get revenge for Bao and take out someone she didn't like, and admittedly never did. They both gained the most out of doing this and possibly never knew they lied to each other's faces for their own ends. Now, Shallily may have replaced me as Nano's new Sinder. Judging by what they're actively working on together, they couldn't have made my point for me any better. September 2nd, 2025. Yep. Wow. Wow, cool. Makes me not like Shallily and Nanoless more. A skeb with Shallily. There's one last thing I want to show to really cover all of my bases. I didn't know where else to put it, so I've added it here. I asked Shallily if I could get a skeb of us together. After it was delivered, I intentionally waited about 3 weeks to send it to her so I could post it closer to my original VTuber debut date that I was preparing for a year and a half. January 25, 2022. I messaged Shallily about getting a skeb together in January. This was our first time talking privately, but we were interacting on Twitter back and forth for a couple weeks before this. No. Mouse-chan. No. She should still be an orca. Because like Powder says in her doc, she orchestrated the whole thing. Pun totally intended. Hi Lily, I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to ask if you'd be okay with me ordering a skeb of the two of us. I think the water and fire theme would be really cute. Oh, I would love that. The water and fire theme is indeed really cool. Sweet, thank you. I'll send it your way when I get it back. I'm so excited. Ah! It'll turn out amazing. Reminds me of Groudon and Kyogre. XD. Oh, fudge! Oh, no! That aged so well. Oh. It reminds me of Groudon and Kyogre. Fun fact, in Pokemon lore, Groudon and Kyogre just hate each other. Well, Shallily was Kyogre, and Sinder, I guess, is Groudon. So oh my gosh, that comment Shallily made back on January 2022 certainly aged well. Wow. One of the first things Shallily ever privately said to me was that our themes together reminded her of Groudon, and Kyogre. I thought it was pretty cringe of her to say that, as if she was some kind of box legendary in a sketch she wasn't even helping pay for. Wait, what's this? What is this?
Oh, haha. The Charizard on Blast, Charizard V-Card doing the.
Oh, that. She just. Okay, nice one. Sinder, that was a good one. That was a good one. Okay. Even though she made this comparison, it's not like she'd ever portray herself in a Groudon and Kyogre-esque fight sequence against a fire-themed enemy, where she comes out as the hero and saves her friends, especially not just months after she took pleasure in and had a major role in canceling me. The Fire Within Shylily lore video. I know how long a project like this takes to complete, and even though I'm sure Shylily had a story she wanted to tell, someone else was credited with writing this lore video. I just find it ironic that it happened. The sketch was delivered at the end of May, on May 25th, 2022. Oh, nice. Addressee, unnecessary. Anyway. June 19th, 2022. I sent Shylily the completed artwork on the 19th and posted it on June 23rd, 2022, 2 days before my debut. Reminds me of Groudon Co. Oh, that's so cute, OMG. Water Kate, and Fire Doge. Lily, I hope you've been doing well. The sketch was finally delivered and it was so worth the wait. I hope you like it. Thank you again for allowing me to get this. I'm going to cherish it forever. Here's a drive link to the HD art and transparent versions for you to use however you like. The artist is credited there too. It's so freaking cute. It looks so amazing. Let me know when you tweet it out so I can retweet it. Of course, I'll post it soon. I also wanted to ask if you'd be okay with me using it in a picture frame for my bedroom background on my streams. The Whale and the Wolf. Lily, you're a huge inspiration to me. Your streams always make me smile and motivate me to do my best too. Just letting you know, I posted the art today. June 23rd, 2022. By the time this art was posted, it had been just shy of 6 months since the sketch was placed. Thank you for being the cutest, silliest, sweetheart around. At Kino Moto Kino. My Skeb page. Since I just talked about the Skeb with Shylily, I might as well address this too. For years, the Skebs I had gotten with people have been held against me, as if I were just using the people I got them with for clout. Shylily's Skeb was the only one that I held off on giving her to post right before my debut, but that wasn't my intention when it was ordered that January. I was ordering Skeb artwork from January 2021 to January 2023, and about 3/4 of my Skebs were ordered before my original debut on June 25th, 2022. Before I was an actual VTuber with a model, I got Skebs for fun, to show thanks to people, to grow existing friendships, and to have art to post on Twitter while I waited for my debut to be ready. Every VTuber I had gotten a Skeb together with was either with someone I was actively working with, had already worked with, or with someone who I was already friends with or acquainted with. At the time I ordered them, I asked everyone for their permission to get one beforehand, except for the few cases it was a surprise meant to be a gift for someone. As far as I remember, I can tell by my financial files, I paid for all of these myself, including Shylily's, and I never expected anyone to chip in. This is every Skeb I ordered, with about half of them being of myself. The center Skebs below are NSFW. There are 2 Skebs with Tricky and Aru that didn't show up on this page that I've shown below this instead. Oh, cool. So this is her Skeb. Oh, wow, that's nice. Okay. Cool. Oh, that's cool. In conclusion, in Bao's section, Red explained his grudge against Bao that led to his and Nano's exclusivity deal. Does it matter explaining why Red held these things against Bao that he told Nano about, or explaining that I only treated Bao differently because of Red's feelings towards her? No, but since this was all made public, it had to be explained. What both of us did was wrong, and we should have addressed the problem when we could have, but it matters how Red got to his conclusion about Bao. Red couldn't see the whole situation around Bao and Sack any other way. After Sack went exclusive, Red pieced together every action he experienced and noticed from Bao to corroborate a story based on assumptions and a pattern of behavior that made perfect sense to him. He ignored any of the good things Bao had done, now thinking she was being fake about everything. He didn't contact Bao about any of this at all to verify his theory. He was angry at her and already made up his mind about what she'd done and thought she'd lie about it anyway. Red eventually tried to get even with her by making a deal with Nano to take the opportunity of working with her away from Bao. Once the truth came out, he turned out to be wrong. What Red did was 1. Piece together an assumed story about someone from observations and experiences with them after something negative happened regarding them, adding up to a supposed pattern of behavior. 2. Focus solely on all of the negative things that happened with that person that fit the confirmation bias towards them, never considering any of the positives, which all became part of the conspiracy. 3. Never contacted the person to find out the truth of the story due to being angry at them for what was already determined happened and thinking they'd lie their way out of accountability. 4. Took retaliatory action against that person in response to what it was assumed they did. 5. The story about the person turned out to be wrong to begin with. Well, couldn't Bao and my friends have done the same thing? They heard what Nano and Shylily were telling them, saw select screenshots of Red's messages with Nano, and assumed there couldn't be any other way but me knowing and agreeing with everything Red said and did. They used their combined experiences with us to back up their theory, were convinced of my motives by someone other than myself, and corroborated a pattern of behavior. No matter what I'd done for them or what we did together in the past, everything was now seen as an act to use or betray them. None of them contacted me at all to verify their claims, and instead jumped to conclusions. They were mad at me for what they were already convinced I did, and were probably told I'd manipulate my way out of it. Then they took action against me that they thought I deserved in return by writing and posting their documents to the public. My friends made their decisions with the information they were given. They were quick to assume that everything Red said were my shared thoughts, but they weren't. My friends never saw Red and I argue, didn't know we lived together, never knew I cheated on Red, and couldn't have known how our relationship was beyond what they saw during the half a dozen times we traveled every year. They decided that this was the culmination of some long series of wrongs I've committed against them to further myself. I am not a perfect person by any means, but to claim that everything I've ever done with my friends, for them, shared with them, felt with them, was all fake is wrong and unbelievable. Where are any of the screenshots of me bad-mouthing, backstabbing, or sabotaging them? They were not rungs on a ladder for me to surpass. I have never had real friends until I found them. Oh. They used their status in the community as some of the biggest VTubers around, ambushing me in the middle of the night to publicly out the person they were falsely convinced was some kind of evil mastermind. They all did this together, so no one was going to question their group's corroborated story. It was okay to ruin me and ignore our history together because they were convinced they were doing it for the sake of friendship. If you asked questions or asked for more evidence, you were banned, blocked, and silenced, because how dare you question those grieving in this difficult time? The public wouldn't have known any better unless I gave the full context of what really happened in this document, rather than what was vaguely told to them through recollection and hurt feelings. Bao lost out on a VTuber model with Nanolis, the artist who wanted to cancel it in the first place and who convinced her it was my fault. I decided to pull out of my unplanned performance in Numi's concert because of my own anxieties, and I was a bad friend when I made the choice initially not to be there for her. I lost my friends, my career, countless opportunities, and my reputation to millions of people has been ruined, permanently. My name has been dragged through the dirt, has become an insult synonymous with insincerity and betrayal. I'm avoided being spoken of like I'm VTuber Voldemort now, and some people are pretending like I never existed. These things are not equal. The damage my friends have inadvertently caused to me is irreparable and immeasurable. All over conjecture, lies they were fed, things I never knew happened, and opinions I did not agree with, whether they knew the truth or not. They all perpetuated lies about me to the public, and my life has been forever altered because of it. Despite it all, I still forgive them. Numi said in her stream that talking about things is always the better option. The pivotal thing my friends didn't do was talk to me or read about anything, never hearing what we had to say about Nano's and Shiloh's claims. Even Bao on her stream was left questioning the motive behind things. Everything that happened circles back to poor communication from everyone. Both Red and I didn't communicate with Bao about his problems with her in December 2024. I didn't communicate with Numi about performing in her concert and how I felt about it before I canceled on her. If there were ever really any problems Nano had with us, she never communicated it. Numi didn't communicate with me about her concert, only trying to plan things through Red, and confided in Bao about how she felt about me canceling. Bao didn't communicate with me about her feelings of isolation, only expressing those feelings to Numi privately. Excuse me. I know, Sinder is too merciful. She's a heaven hound for sure. Shylily didn't communicate with me about whatever problems she had with me and resorted to petty actions instead. No one communicated with me or Red before choosing to make everything public, ending in my cancellation. In conclusion, Nanolis. I don't think Nano's actions didn't start out malicious. She wanted to find out if what Red said was true, and Shylily used that against me. I do not believe Nano ever shared the full true story of what happened between her, Red, and I with my friends. and instead chose to protect herself and lie about everything. It's hard to believe Nano put her own document together, and it's heavily evidenced that Shy Lily did. Nano sat back and let Shy Lily take the wheel for her after knowingly lying about what happened between us. When you consider that Nano's and Bao's documents were planned together and posted simultaneously, it was on purpose to put my betrayal of my friend first and foremost, even though Nano said she didn't care about Bao. After viewing the entirety of Red's DMs with Nano and having the full context of their conversations, it's very clear that Nano's entire document was maliciously and deceptively written to push a false narrative to the public on which everyone else's claims could be based on, while using emotionally triggering language in its accusations throughout. With the biggest VTuber, Shy Lily, supporting her, no one would question Nano's claims, even my friends. When put under scrutiny, there are so many details purposely left out, giving the freedom to tell whatever story they wanted that the DMs that were shown vaguely supported. Screenshots from conversations over 2 years presented out of order, missing context, and mixed and matched to fit a narrative. Even going as far as to boldly edit a screenshot to remove a message. Claims were made without evidence, and straight-up lies were told, meant to be believed by the public who wouldn't know any better. Some of the claims in Nano's document don't even match the screenshots provided as evidence. It's like no one actually read the screenshots provided, and either just read what was written or just listened to the large voices telling everyone what they said happened. This document was falsely written to paint Nano as a victim who had no agency in her choices without showing any of her guilt, and Red and I as evil, manipulative people who only wanted to use Nano for our own gain, sabotaging every project she's ever cancelled, and cherry-picking exactly what needed to be shown to make that case. Everyone was told that everything in Red's messages had to be my thoughts and feelings as well, for all the blame to be put onto me, as if he isn't his own person. Only 3 total screenshots of my own words from 2 conversations over a year apart from each other were shown. The only manipulation here was to the evidence in Nano's document and to the public's perception of me. Neither of us sabotaged any VTuber's projects with Nano. As you've seen from our messages, we've always praised Nano for the work she did with others. I've always supported my model sisters, and I platformed them myself on my stream. Even if I could also understand the reasoning behind Red saying more Nano models means they're less special. In the case of the exclusivity deal in January 2025, Red asked Nano not to work with Bao, Cotton, or Silverveil. Nano said she had a model planned with Bao and he didn't know about it before, and Bao probably didn't know about it either. Nano offered to cancel Bao's model in exchange for payment for her own model's rigging. They negotiated and made a deal that was never shown to the public. To argue that Nano was manipulated anyway is crazy. Nano was just as complicit in their deal as Red was. She had no problem asking him about and talking about the drama around Bao that her document claimed she wanted nothing to do with, and then offered to cancel Bao's model herself. I had nothing to do with this happening and had no knowledge of it until the documents were posted. Red and Nano are the only 2 people that could have told me about this, and neither of them did. There's nothing to show for it because it didn't happen. I can't prove a negative. Nano lied and pushed all of her agency of her own actions onto Red, then Shy Lily and my friends took Red's agency away from him and his actions, and then blamed everything either one of them did on me. Nano used us as a scapegoat for her canceling Bao's model when she was the one who wanted to do it in the first place. She canceled Silverveil's and Cotton's models in November of 2023 and blamed it on us. And when she said she was going to take Silver's model back, she didn't because she was healthier and less stressed. She canceled 7 models in September of 2024, avoiding accountability for herself and implying to those clients that it wasn't her fault, it was my fault. I don't know if the 10 canceled projects talked about in Red's DMs with Nano was everything she ever canceled or everything she blamed us for with her document, but it's all he ever knew about. Nano was clearly capable of thinking for herself and was always in control of her own business decisions. She repeatedly overextended herself and overbooked too many projects that she couldn't handle again and again. If Nano was able to cancel on some of the biggest VTubers out there, bigger than me, she could have chosen to cancel plans with us or stopped working with me altogether if she really felt the way it says she did in her document, but not once did she. Instead, she said she just wanted to do Sinder stuff. We didn't hold any power over Nano, we didn't threaten her, we didn't blackmail her, and we didn't manipulate her. We were her most loyal, supportive, sympathetic, and repetitious clients who genuinely cared about her, and she knew it. Even if Nano genuinely had anything against us, in the way her document explains, which she never ever showed or expressed, she could have aired her grievances with us and parted ways, evidenced by our acceptance of Akira's messages. But instead, she found herself in this situation, and as soon as it was advantageous for her to do so, she conspired to cut all contact with us and use us as a scapegoat for her own actions under the guise of abuse after one conversation with Shy Lily. It didn't matter who we were to her, just that she would have been caught without blaming us and using the manipulation excuse. She carved a path to the best outcome possible for herself and came out of this with more support than ever. As stated in the artist's now deleted tweet, Nano removed herself from the direct conversation and used emotional language to attack and rally rather than actually caring about fixing the problem. I fucking hate this. Nanolist removed herself from tag in direct conversation, uses emotional language to attack and rally rather than actually caring about fixing the art that it provided instructions for 7 months, but the focus seems to have shifted away from, and whatever. Nano has shown herself to be an entirely self-serving and opportunistic person, pretending to be meek whose word means nothing. Given the opportunity to further herself or gain something to her benefit, even at someone else's expense, at the biggest VTuber's expense, or even if it's at the expense of people as supportive as we were to her, she'll take it. The public was lied to about what really happened between myself, Red, and Nano. Nano wasn't manipulated, she wasn't a victim, and I didn't betray Bao or any of my other friends. Nanolist betrayed me, and in the end, I was nothing to her. It really was just business to Nano. Red and I were her most supportive and loyal clients over 4 years, paying for her to be taught how to cut art for model rigging in the first place, giving her over $100,000 to buy her new house, building our careers side by side, and this is how she thanked us. No matter what Nano did, she will continue to be supported by the people she worked with to cancel me, and by people that want her artistic talent. I will continue to use my art and models from Nanolist until they can be replaced. In conclusion, Shylily. Oh boy. Oh boy. I used to look up to Shylily, but now, I don't know how anyone can. The L she holds on her forehead must stand for liar because Shylily was the first person to do so. She had her own grudges against me before this all started, and in true narcissistic fashion, she lied to and manipulated Nano to avoid accountability, turning her against me. She's Shylily, so of course Nano was going to believe anything she said. The only thing done to Shylily was that Red dared to speak about what she was guilty of doing, and thought we'd have to consider her competition for her petty, unwarranted behavior towards me. She still expected her own section in my apology, though, as if I had anything to apologize to her for, other than not knowing she was talked about. She probably just wanted a concession from me for some narcissistic sense of victory. Shylily wants to claim she sucks at Discord, and Bosca told me that Shylily rarely uses Discord, only for business meetings and stuff. I guess that part was true because this was all just business to her. She had no problem using, understanding, navigating, organizing, and communicating with a dozen or more people in Discord consistently over 2 weeks when it came to canceling me, but for some reason, didn't have the balls to respond when I tried to resolve things between us. From my own experience, her sucking at Discord is an excuse to avoid accountability for her to not put in the time and energy to talk to people she doesn't feel are worthy of her time, including her friends, something I was attacked for. I'm confident Shylily wrote Nano's document for her, used Bao as the emotional centerpiece, and told whatever story she wanted to tell. She hid behind the scenes and kept her hands clean of involvement, staying out of the drama until it came to dunking on my tweet and making sure I'd stay down. She became the hero, defender of her friends, and turned me into the villain. Shylily projected her own actions and behavior of narcissism, manipulation, jealousy, and avoiding accountability onto me, and convinced all of my friends of it too, while manipulating everyone to believe everything I've ever said was me lying through my teeth with words like honey. She threw her morals out the window, lied, and claimed I was trying to deplatform them when Shylily was the one eager to deplatform me. Shylily is deathly afraid of losing relevance, and she gladly conspired to take out the person she felt she was losing relevance to in her own passion project, and pushed my cancellation to be done as soon as Bao was out of surgery with Nano's career-ending evidence. No one was going to distrust Shylily's word or side against her. Her celebrating my cancellation on her stream was justified in the eyes of the public she misled, all while admitting to the slander that started this. Shylily didn't care about accountability. She was ready for blood, and she got it. It's very easy to lie about someone when the person being lied about is the only one who can disprove them, and everyone was manipulated to believe anything they could say in their defense couldn't be trusted. Twist what really happened to fit a narrative, then repeat it over and over again until it's believed to be fact. Sinder took no accountability. Sinder knew everything. Sinder betrayed her friends. It's just business. And no matter how many times they claim Sinder did this and Sinder did that, it doesn't make any of Red's actions my actions. Any evidence shown of my actual involvement was near non-existent. Just because they corroborated their stories and told them loudly and emotionally doesn't make them true. If you need to present your evidence dishonestly, out of order, out of context, even doctoring it, and then make claims that the evidence doesn't even show, then maybe that evidence isn't reliable, and the real story is different from the story being told. This was a witch hunt, and everyone involved just wanted to move on from it as soon as I was gone. Wow. Whew, that was pretty deep. Silvervale! 230! Oh, God! This is going to be my reaction every time I go to another section. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh, Silvervale. Okay. Silvervale and I have never been friends. There were 3 reasons I tried to make some kind of connection with her throughout the years. I have been endlessly compared to and harassed about my similarities to Silvervale that ate at my insecurities ever since I started my VTubing career. These comments weren't true, but I believe Silvervale bought into them and disliked me for it. If Silvervale and I could clear things up, be on good terms, and to be able to publicly acknowledge each other, it would have helped to end the harassment both of us were getting for so long. Any creative or business endeavor Silvervale and I did together could have been very successful and benefited us both. I've gotten countless requests from fans asking for this, read lots of ideas of potential things we could have done, and I was always open to working together with her. I genuinely sought a friendship with someone I was repeatedly told was very similar to me in our personalities, likes, and interests. Silvervale was never obligated to do any of these things, and I never felt that she was. I just wanted to get along. For so long, I held out hope that we could talk things out, but she showed me through her own behavior how she really felt about me due to no actions of my own. My pursuit to fix things between us turned to mixed feelings, and after she repeatedly gave me reason to, I grew to resent Silvervale by the summer of 2024. The never-ending harassment for copying her and other circumstances around her didn't help. In the times I confided in my friends about my experiences with Silver, they'd all agree with me and tell me their own stories about her. It was Silvervale's dislike of me and her actions towards me throughout the years that informed mine and Red's opinion on Shadowley's and her feelings about me before I was cancelled. Silver wouldn't acknowledge me by name when I'd raid her, ghosted my messages for months, and got her model from Nanolith at a very suspicious time. A similarly petty pattern of behavior without any communication. Here are some of the things I said about Silvervale in my apology, which is there. I was overly apologetic because of the severity of the moment. I chose not to go into detail about any of my interactions with Silver, and even said there wasn't any between us when there was. I felt awful about the feelings I had about her, calling myself unapologetically evil when I wasn't. I did not sabotage Silvervale. I agreed to ask Nano not to work with her on models anymore, where Silver lost nothing, and I apologized for the opportunities I took from her when there really wasn't any. In doing so, I gave Silvervale the ability to fill in the gaps in the story however she wanted. Despite apologizing to her for evils far beyond what I've ever actually done, it didn't stop Silvervale from confidently lying about me when she finally had the chance. Silver said that she wanted her community to be fully informed about everything, so below is my full experience with and around Silvervale, ending with a breakdown of her document and a showcase of all of the lies she told on her stream. Throughout the start of the timeline, I'll place the screenshots of Red's retelling of events to Nano from May 2023 to show that he wasn't lying to her. They're highlighted with a blue border like this commentary. That conversation is also included below, just like it was in Nano's section of this document. There's that. Accusations of copying Silvervale. I have been accused, compared, and harassed for years by people thinking I copied everything about Silvervale, including my personality, voice, and even my laugh. I was never going to address this publicly, but I'm taking this opportunity to lay everything out and show that I didn't copy her. Quote from my apology, and there's that. Before November of 2020, what I knew about Silvervale was as much as I knew about the only other Western VTubers at the time. Almost nothing. I knew who she was, but I didn't watch her content. It was only after VShoujo debuted and Silver rebranded did I start following her. November 15, 2020. My original VTuber concept based on my ASMR persona was finished, and I was waiting to work with the artist Red, and I contacted to design my character in December. I was originally going to be a cherry blossom wolf girl. Whoa! November 15, 2020, 8:07 p.m. To restore this version, Twitter at TashiVTuber, YouTube at TashiVTuber, Twitch TashiVTuber, art tag hashtag Drashi, NSFW art tag hashtag Hentashi. Tashi Hanami is the VTuber persona of Tashi.mp3. Tashi is a wolf girl who just wants to make friends and the people around her happy. Name, Tashi Hanami, the Okami, the cherry blossom spirit. Tashi, my name. Hanami, Japanese for flower or blossom. Okami, Japanese for wolf. Personality, friendly, sweet, soft, affectionate, caring, gentle, shy, easily frightened, lonely, hungry. Motif, cherry blossoms, comfy, cozy. Likes, flowers, napping, fluffy blankets, pink, stupid jokes, sweets. Dislikes, hot weather, thunderstorms, the dark, getting lost, being alone, tuna fish, stinky. What? Lore. Tashi was a white wolf who got separated from her pack and was lost in a cherry blossom forest. Scared, starving, and alone she took shelter from a thunderstorm underneath the biggest tree of the forest. Lightning struck nearby and she heard a yelp. Against her fear, Tashi went to see what had happened and found a helpless, strange-looking cat pinned under a fallen branch. Her stomach growled. Instead of taking the opportunity to eat, she helped the creature and brought it back under the tree to take shelter from the storm together. The next morning, woken up by the bright sun, Tashi was in a daze from starvation. The cat was nowhere to be found. She was glad she was able to help it. A bright light appeared to her as the darkness was closing in. The guardian deity of the forest appeared before her. Seeing such a noble act, she rescued Tashi. November 24, 2020, VShoujo was announced. This was Silverveil's original design and description on VShoujo's website. Silverveil, bam, an Okami Sakura spirit who ventured to Earth out of loneliness. Upon realizing that fluffy ears are not common in the human realm, she often hides from under a pair of cute headphones. She is a delicate blend of lewd and wholesome, loving to spread joy and cozy vibes. Nothing makes her happier than meeting new friends, and she hopes to encourage them to appreciate the fleeting beauties in life. Though she has a terrible sense of direction and is very forgetful, that her childlike sense of wonderment is known to men to melt hearts. It is genius. The same day, Red emailed the artist that was designing my character that we're changing our plans. Red references Silver's design above in his message. In my apology, I said this. Alright, redacted. Hey, Blank! So, we have an update for you. We have a change of plans, and this is on November 24th, 2020. So recently we've been seeing a lot of new VTubers with a cherry blossom aesthetic popping up. We didn't mind much that it was an overdone concept because we had confidence in our following to rise among the crowd. However, a new VTuber agency called VShoujo was just announced today with talents like Blank, Silverveil, etc. Now it turns out Silverveil's concept, not that you can tell from the character design, is that she's an Okami Sakura spirit with a ton of the same traits Taishi just happens to have. Here's the link. If you scroll down to talents and click on her, you can read it. Now, seeing this new company, and I know it's a thing, long shot right now, we wouldn't want to have the samey or exact traits as any of their talents in hopes of one day joining. Gotta think long term, lol. So where am I going with this? All afternoon, we've been stressing about what to do. We have a character design, we have a backstory, we're working with an artist, how can we switch things up now? So we came up with a really good idea that's kind of a 180. A cute hellhound girl who is kicked out of hell for being too sweet and kind. We know it's a huge departure from what we gave you. We're sorry. We don't know if the... What? Fiery bondagey. I only say bondagey because we like the idea of chain spikes and bracer, a collar, is something you have experience drawing, or it's even something you'd agree to help up with. So we understand if you want to drop off the project with us. This is a very last minute, but we fell in love with the idea of a wolfy girl with animated fire on her design, and we haven't seen or found a VTuber concept like this anywhere yet, lol. We'd like to know your thoughts on this, and if you're still willing to accept our commission, we can submit a new application for Tashi with the new design in mind if you're interested. We'd still request starting with you in December. We're really excited about this, almost like a fire was ignited, and we'd be so thankful for your help. Sorry again for the last minute overhaul. Thanks so much. Servavale had her re-debut stream to reveal a new model and Sakura Wolf design later that same night on November 24th, 2020. Silvervale's V-Shoujo re-debut. That's cool. V-Shoujo debuted in Silver Ribanna's... Okay. December 8th, 2020. The details for Cinder's character were finished. December 8th, 2020, 8:37 p.m. Twitter at Sinder VTuber. YouTube Sinder VTuber. Twitch Sinder VTuber. Art tag, hashtag SinderDoodle. NSFW art tag, hashtag Cinderotica. Fanbase Embers. Oh, that was before the Pyropups. That's right, that was a whole thing. A hellhound with a heart from heaven descended to VTuber hell with me. Cinder the Hellhound is the VTuber persona of Tashi.mp3. Cinder is a fiery wolf girl who was banished from hell for being too nice. She was cursed to be a half-human monster since she always tried befriending them. Now she wanders the mortal plane looking to warm the hearts of many new friends. Personality, friendly, sweet, soft, affectionate, caring, gentle, shy, easily frightened, oblivious, lonely, hungry, will act like a top, but actually hardcore bottom. Flames go out when sleeping. Flames flare up when angry or excited. Blue when very... eye color too. Flames dwindle when sad, ears go down. Motif, hell, gothic, chains and metal, fiery hellscape, fire, iron gates and spikes, bones and skulls, cemeteries, heavy metal, doom, Animal Crossing vibe. Oh, forgot, that was 2020! Anyway. Likes, napping, fluffy blankets, sweets, flowers, stupid jokes, hibachi, making friends, dislikes, hot weather, thunderstorms, the dark, getting lost, being alone, tuna fish, stinky. Abilities, can transform into a hellhound wolf form, can make anyone smile with a warm personality, can eat a whole lot of ice cream, it cools her down. Name. The original name we had in mind was Ember, but thought it was too generic. Red came up with the name Sinder by combining Sin with Cinder, Sin relating to hell, and Cinder to fire, which made Cinder the hellhound. And I liked the wordplay aspect of it. It had nothing to do with it sounding like silver. The name Embers was going to be used by my fanbase, but we scrapped it and didn't have a fan name until much later. Personality. You can see from my original character sheet from November 15, 2020 above, and Silver's description on the VJojo website that Silver Knight inherently shared a lot of personality traits. Art tag, hashtag SinderDoodle, came from it sounding like Snickerdoodle. Oh, I didn't notice that. Relating to my love of sweets, but also to drawings of me, it was intended to be used for my own artwork, I'll show below too. Cinder's Doodles. The other idea was hashtag Sindra, like hashtag Drashi, but I didn't like the way it sounded. Our choice had nothing to do with Silver's art tag being hashtag Doodlevale. What? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Never mind. Design. Below is the document where all of the references were given to the artist to design Cinder. None of them are of Silvervale. Cinder's bangs are based off my hair IRL. December 8, 2020, 8:37 p.m. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. Example of hair and horn gradient colors. Black to dark red. I really like this shade of red. Oh, wow. Maybe a little bit of lace to soften her design up a bit. Lacy thigh highs might be cute. Like the whole leather and lace theme. Wow. Spiky collar with a chain. Maybe other chains incorporated into her outfit or wrapped around her. Okay. Oh, nice. I'd love for her to have more of a cutesy outfit to balance out some of the harder elements. Maybe a ruffled blouse like this. I like the fitted skirt. The laces maybe. Just a skirt slit instead. A lace trim at the bottom. The ribbons are also hella cute, but not sure how they'd work with the design. I have too many ideas, lol. My personal fave, redacted. Oh. For blank, examples of your work we like, specifically the style the girls are drawn in. Oh. Other VTuber designs we like, and Lich VTuber, Berry Sprout, Mori Calliope? Mari the Hybrid? Wow. Mori Calliope was... That's what! Oh my gosh, that's right! Because 2020 was the start of the Hololive English branch. That was when Gen 1 of Hololive English came out. Oh my gosh, that's wild. Oh, really? December 16th, 2020, my design was finished. I've never held changing my original design from a Sakura Wolf to a Hellhound against Silver. I was thankful for it, since Cinder was a much better idea than what I had before. and it's what led me to calling her an inspiration soon after this. Finished Sinder reference sheet. Hi. At first, all the emails scared me. I thought I messed up big, but glad it was just about text edits. Fixed it all and put all the files here. Please note the HD files should belong only to you and the artist that will create her live 2D model. And as expected, the ones on post folder are okay to share on your social media. Would we be able to use a black silhouette of the first drawing in a YouTube video to advertise the new accounts? Yes, you can use a black silhouette to advertise. Thank you for asking. Hope you like the final reference. Hope you like how the final reference sheet turned out, and enjoy your new character. Good luck with your journey. Wish both you big luck, and thanks for trusting me to create something so important. I'm truly honored. And I know who this is. I know who this is that made that reference sheet. Okay. What is this? 17 out of 236. Okay. I am done. It is very early in the morning for me now. Happy Saturday, by the way. Also, Queen B77, thank you so much for subscribing. Before I end, I am asking a favor from all the Pyropups and Sinder fans. If you're watching this VOD, please timestamp this VOD and put it in the comment section below. Please help a fella out. Please spread the word. Feel free to post this in social media everywhere. I feel like people need an audiobook to listen to. I'm not the best because I go on rants, but I feel like it's important for people to take the time to, read the effort that Sinder has put forth to refute the allegations put against her by the accusers. I feel that it is only fair that people take the time to sit down and read this and come to their own independent conclusions about Sinder. If the accusers can destroy Sinder's career by posting a pamphlet version, like barely 200 pages of Google Docs, then I think it's only fair that Sinder fight back in kind. And I've already ranted about this before. Should you? Should you unsubscribe from Numi? Doc stream is over. Yeah, it is over. By the way, if you wanna go to sleep, I don't know what time it is for you guys. If you want to sleep, you can go to sleep. But whoever asked that question, should I unsubscribe from Numi? I would say it's up to you. If I had to choose, I'd say yes. I would. However, that's this personal decision. It's not yours. I would say yes. And the reason why I say yes is even though, okay, let's say, Numi was manipulated. It doesn't change the fact that she still did it. The thing is she still did it. She still contributed to Sinder's downfall by saying these things. She did. Even if she was manipulated. And see, Thunderlord8762 is right. That's up to you. That's your choice. But if you're asking me, I'd say yes. That's my personal biased opinion. I would say yes. I think I'm unsubscribed from Numi now. The girly pops, I've just stopped supporting. I've stopped supporting the girly pops. I used to. I'm not gonna lie. I used to, but because of the Sinder slander, I stopped. I was like, really, guys? You're not even gonna, contact Sinder about? Did you... In the beginning, it was did you guys ever even, talk to Sinder about this? No? Okay. Alright. And then seeing their side of the story, and then seeing Sinder's 1,000-page Google Doc and what I've read so far, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to support them. I know Sinder chooses to forgive them, and that's why I say she's a heaven hound, but it doesn't change the fact that they destroyed her career. She even admits it herself. They canceled her. Her name, her brand, it's ruined. Her career was ruined by her own friends. So to me, in my personal biased opinion, it doesn't matter if they were manipulated or not. It doesn't. In this case, it legitimately doesn't. Because at the end of the day, they chose to do this. They chose to cancel Sinder. They chose to make those streams to address the Sinder slander. They chose to go along with Shy Lily's lies and slander. They chose to go along with Nanalyssa's lies and slander. They chose to lie to the public. They chose to lie to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people on the internet, to the world. They chose to lead a smear campaign against Sinder. Doesn't matter if they were manipulated. In this case, it doesn't matter if they were manipulated to do it. Because at the end of the day, Sinder was bullied off the VTuber sphere. I feel like it's only fair that, Sinder get reparation from this. So that's why if you ask me, should I unsubscribe from Numi, personally, I would say yes. And here's the thing. I know I'm, saying negative things, right? Just ignore them, I do believe that we're as humans, we make mistakes, but we should learn from them. And if the girly pops learn from their mistakes, if they make an apology and they apologize to Sinder, they help Sinder get back on her feet, then I'll start supporting them again. Right now, I will stop supporting them because of the horrendous deeds they have done to Sinder. But if they, make it right again, they fix the wrongs they've committed, then I'll support them again. I believe people should deserve another chance. But it's, it's not something given, it's earned, it's gained from hard work, from righting the wrongs you've committed. So if people from the girly pops, if the girls from the girly pops, make effort to, help Sinder get back on her feet, or you do something to make up for the wrongs they've committed against Sinder, then I'll support them again. But right now, I am not supporting them. No, I personally believe they don't deserve it. If they were willing to do such a childish, amateur smear campaign against someone without talking to them first, especially if they were their friend, then one, I would consider them a fake friend. And two, I just stopped supporting them. Sinder has done so much. What Sinder showed in this doc to me, she's just the better person. She showed that she wanted everyone to enjoy V-Card, Shy Lily's project. She chose to believe that Bao and Numi made a mistake. She chose to believe that the people that didn't orchestrate or cause this whole Sinder slander were manipulated into believing she was wrong, a villain, and that there was some sort of confirmation bias against her. Sinder chose to believe the good side of her friends instead of the bad side. She chose to look on the optimistic side of it. She chose to do that. That's why I think she's the better person. I think she is a very strong person to have to deal with all of this hate, to have to deal with her friends turn against her, to be able to say, I forgive my friends after all of that shows that she is a strong person. You can say whatever you want, Sinder is strong. The fact that she had to deal with all this and she chose to forgive people, the fudge? Listen, I'm human. I make mistakes, right? And, I screw up, but, if someone were to do something like that to me, oh boy, I probably would be yeah, no, screw you. But Sinder decided to forgive them. She's the better person. She truly is. I lost the quote. What was it? She is truly the hellhound with a heart, or something like that. I missed the landing there, my inspirational speech there, but she truly is the hellhound with a heart. It hurts as a fan of Cinder's to see that she's had to deal with this. It hurts to see that the people she was really close to betrayed her like this. And I know she's optimistic about it, but if they did that, they still did it. And from, like I said earlier in the stream, as far as I know, they're choosing to turn a blind eye to the whole Sinder doc. Would she forgive Lily? I guess she did. Well, to my understanding, yes. I don't know. However, I'm unsure. I don't know if she sees Shy Lily as a friend still or not. I'm assuming not, because Shy Lily was the orchestrator, pun totally intended, of the whole Cinder slander. Like, she colluded with Nanolis, Bao, and all the other people involved to cancel Cinder. In a very deplorable, disgusting, horrid way. Obscene way. But, yeah, I'll continue reading the Google Doc. I'm not done. I'll be continuing reading it later today. So, yeah, but it really just looks like I'm not going to finish it until next week. I was thinking I'd finish it this week. There's no way. I'm just going to finish it next week. It's just... Cinder is strong. Cinder deserves better than this. And I hope she can bounce back. I really do hope that she'll bounce back. I plan to probably just... I feel like this is just a plan, no guarantees, but I feel like I'm still gonna cover what Cinder does. Like, her accomplishments, like the good things about her. Like, once the Cinder slander blows over, I'm probably gonna report, like, Cinder news and stuff every so often. If, like, she continues to stream. She's never, in her Google Doc, I have yet to see her say she's going to come back and stream. I don't know if she will. I don't know if she's still deciding if she wants to continue being Cinder or not. She says she'll keep using it, right? But she never said she was going to come back to stream. Which leaves it open for interpretation, in my personal opinion. I haven't read all the doc. I'm basing it off of what I've read so far. Cinder should get new friends. She should get friends that won't do that to her. Like, it's horrible what went down. That's why I call what like Bao, Nanolis, Shy Lily, they're fake friends. Because they decided to turn something small and turn it into a nuclear warhead and nuke Cinder's livelihood. I mean, oh, whoa! I got a super chat. Thank you. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Phantom. So yes, they do repeat. It's part 2 because I said that day that I would do one stream and then continue it. So there should be part 2 and then part 2 continued. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. But yeah, maybe I should turn off super chats, especially if it's something serious like this. But hey, it's just business. Okay. Listen, I ain't a good person. I'm not. Never was, never will be. I just want to put that out there. And then, like, after seeing what Cinder put in her doc, like, Neutronian bomb, yeah. I wish. But she did say in her Google Doc. I haven't read it on stream yet. I read it on my own. She said she if she comes back, well, no, she did hint she'll come back. It was at the end of her Google Doc. She will come back and she'll continue to do what she has been doing, even if it's on a smaller scale. But she is going to be digging her way out of the Earth's core. Like, what Shy Lily, Nanolis, Bao, and the other people involved did to Cinder, they basically, like, dragged her to the core of the Earth. Might as well, like, thrown her into a black hole. She has to dig her way out of the most impossible odds. She has to dig her way out of that. Think about it. Her friends betrayed her. Her fans betrayed her. She was literally left with nothing. Can you imagine that the Cinder slander almost caused her to lose everything? She almost lost her relationship with Redacted. They had a falling out and didn't talk to each other for a month. She literally almost lost everything. She was struggling. And there is no way I can empathize because I can't empathize with it because I can't imagine the amount of mental emotional trauma she received, how hard she was hurting. I cannot fathom that. I've never been in that position. And it's so bad that I can't seem to, like, get a grasp or feel of it. I'm scared to think of it. Like, can you imagine that? Your closest friends betray you like that? Doesn't even give you a chance to talk? And then 5 months of hate, rape threats, dox threats, negative words, death threats. 5 months of that? She is a strong, independent woman. She is an inspiration to people to stay strong in the face of adversity. She took the time to join the Discord server and say, happy 3rd anniversary. She stayed to say happy birthday. She's still with us. And she got a dog. She's taking steps to improve her life. That's amazing. That's wonderful. And it's great to see. It's heartwarming to see that, like, she's doing better. It's great. It still grinds my gears that the accusers got away with this. Shy Lily got away with it. Like I said earlier, nothing we do is going to change it. I feel, unfortunately, this is my personal opinion on this, but the people that see what's happened and are pro-Sinder, you know, like, in general, like, the pro-Sinder, as in, like, they see the evidence and they see that Shy Lily, Nanalis, Bao, and I guess you can also add Newbie to this list, lied to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. Like, the pro-Sinder camp is such a minority, and that's the sad thing. It's the minority. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're the minority here. The vast majority still want to keep the stupid narrative going, that Sinder is the villain. And I've seen some of those clips where bigger VTubers and big content creators are like, oh, guess what? Sinder is still the villain. Because they skim the doc, they cherry pick things in the doc, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, clearly, you don't even need to read the 1,000-page doc. Yes, you do. If you call yourself a drama tuber or a journalist, I feel like you should do the due diligence to read this 1,000-page Google Doc. And if you're not going to read it, at least state that you didn't read it and say that you're biased. Do your due diligence. Don't say that. Don't say that you don't need to read the 1,000-page Google Doc. There's tons of new evidence in this Google Doc, and I'm reading it so that people can see it. I am a small content creator, and I'll probably be that way for the foreseeable future. This is a side thing for me, guys. I enjoy making content, like, on the side. I have an actual job. Like, I have a 9-to-5 job, essentially. I do this on the side because I enjoy it. I'm not those big content creators that dedicate their passion to making these overlays and all that stuff. But either way, even if I'm just a small content creator, I feel like I should do my part as a fan of Sinder to help bring her word out to the public. To show to the public, like, hey, there's another side of the story that you should consider. And that there's evidence refuting the allegations and showing that, hey, you know, Shy Lily, Nanalis, and Bao and Numi lied to you. You know, maybe you should consider that. Now, if you want to support them, cool, that's on you. But if you no longer want to support them, just ignore them. Follow what Sinder says. Don't spread hate. Be the community that other communities look up to. That's basically what Cinder's saying. A lot of people, like I've seen positive comments about the PyroPub community. It's cool. If you're a PyroPub and a fan of Sinder, we gotta do our part to support Sinder, which is be the community that she wants us to be. Be the community that we should be. Be the community that other communities look up to. Because Cinder's gonna need all the support she can get to dig herself out of the black hole that the girly pops and the accusers put her in. We can't focus on Shy Lily and them. Can't really focus on them. And it's really hypocritical to say because I will be covering this. I'll make smaller video shorts for this. Just saying. because I'm a hypocrite. But if you really don't like them, just unfollow, unsubscribe, just ignore them. And just give all your attention to Sinder at that point. Not all of it, but just give the attention you would give to the others to Sinder instead. She deserves support. She really does. And it's reassuring to see that there are some content creators out there willing to collab with her if she comes back. It's nice. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm like a nobody on the content creation sphere. Like I said, I do this for fun, and the only reason why I've even got this point is because of you guys watching the stream right now, and the Sinder slander. If the Sinder slander hadn't happened, I wouldn't even be on the map. And even then, I have less subscribers than all these other big VTubers, so thank you for, you guys for checking out my channel. But, yeah. All I can do is just be loud as a small content creator and hope that the words I say convert people from anti-Sinder to pro-Sinder. Because like I said, I'm heavily biased and I'm pro-Sinder. I mean, yeah, no, you're right. I need to get to 1,000, subs. Oh, business. Woo. Yeah. You like hearing my view? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a small content creator. I barely make as much change as I want to, and it's true. I've gotten people to change their mind about the Cinder situation. That's great. To convert them to pro Cinder. That's great. But still a small creator. I just really want Cinder to come back. I want her to come back. I want her to bounce back from this. I want her to be better than she was before. I want her to surpass her subscriber count and follower count before the Cinder slander happened, because she lost over 50,000 subscribers when the Cinder slander happened, and that just sucks. So I really would like her to, bounce back, and I feel like that'd be great. That's a goal. That's a goal. I feel like that's a goal for myself, is to try and help support Cinder, so that way she can get back to where she was before the Cinder slander happened. And I hope that better opportunities go her way. I hope that she makes new friends, and that those friends will not put business above, friendships. And I hope that she gets friends that will truly appreciate her and give her the respect she deserves and help her with stuff. I really do. So, because like I said, Cinder's one of my favorite indie VTubers, and to see that one of my favorite indie VTubers is just horribly slandered like that, it hurts. It hurts. It's not gonna end my. It's not gonna be devastating for me, but it sucks. So that's why. So yeah, Power Pups, Cinder fans, if y'all could, please timestamp my videos, share them, let the people know. And if you want to look at better creators that can cover this better than me, Mama Oko is one. Mizu Tamari is one. You can check out those two. They're way more professional than I ever could be. If you've seen my videos, oh Lord in heaven above, I am more amateur than Shy Lily, Bao, and Nanolis combined. I'm an amateur. Yeah, everyone wants to be Cinder's friend. I know, it's people you think you can? I was no. First off, I'm a nobody. Second of all, why would Cinder want to associate with a drama tuber like me talking about the Cinder slander and not letting it die out? I'm genuinely serious, and sad to say, I'm the last person she wants to associate with. Genuinely serious. I'm I'm not a VTuber. I'm an IRL. I am an IRL tuber. I ain't that great. I'm not. I personally, I don't think I'm good enough to even get that. Well, actually, no. I am not good enough to get that. I'm just here, guys. I'm just chilling. Yes, I am. No. Don't say that. Don't say that. Remember, Sinder said don't spread hate or harassment. Don't do that. Like I said, PR is PR, whether good or bad. This is the content creation sphere we're talking about, guys. If you give them attention, they win. They get more views. They get more engagement. That's how they get their money. Views and engagement. You don't like them? Ignore them. Block their channels. You win because you're not engaging with them. Content creators get money from their views, from their super chats, from engagement. So if you just ignore them, you win. You have harmed them financially. Think about it that way. One day, Shy Lily's making $1,000 per video, but if you ignore them, oh, now she's making $1 less. $999. Negligible amount, but still something to be annoying, you know? Be civil about it. Don't spread hate. Don't harass. Just be civil. You don't like them? Ignore them. I will keep repeating this because I know there's going to be people out there that's like, down with Shy Lily! We need to spread hate and harassment! Don't do that, please. Literally, Sinder said don't. She's like, if you spread hate and harassment, you're not a pyropup and your actions are deplorable. She says that. I'm going to show that right now. People probably will be like, no, Godfrey, no. No, this is literally her message to the pyropups. I'm gonna read this later. Yeah, there it is. Here it is. I have to read this for you guys. This is Cinder's message to the pyropups. To anyone who sent hate or harassment in support of me, you are not a pyropup. You are not my fan, you are deplorable, disgusting, and I do not want anything to do with you. I have never condoned or encouraged that behavior from anyone for any reason, and the circumstances haven't made me sacrifice my morals. The Sinder slander has not made her become worse. It has helped temper her. It has helped her learn. So guys, Cinder's words: do not spread hate or harassment. Don't. Just don't. Like I said, if you're going to, get back at them, you want to get back at them, be civil. Ignore them. If you don't engage in them, you don't buy their products, they get nothing. They lose. They lose if you ignore them. If you ignore them, you win. Please. As a content creator on the YouTube platform for over a decade, trust me, if you ignore them, you win. Just please, I'm begging at this point. If you want to get back at Shy Lily and co, then just ignore them. Don't go on this smear campaign. I'm going to let you know right now, it's not going to work. It's going to fail. If you try to do a smear campaign against Shy Lily, it's going to fail. You're going to not only be rude to Cinder's wishes, you're going to fail. And then you're going to receive tons of backlash for it. So don't. Please listen to Cinder's words. Please just ignore them. Leave them in their little happy bubble, okay? They want to live in that world where Shy Lily's the hero. Fine. Great. They can live in that blasphemous fantasy of falsehood. They can live there for all I care. What we should be caring about as fans of Cinder Pyropups is supporting Cinder, getting her back to where she was before the Cinder slander even took place. Really, truthfully. So yes, I've ranted about this, and I'll keep ranting about it because, eventually, if I repeat it enough, people will eventually get it. Please, I'm begging you. For Cinder, if not for me, for Cinder, just ignore them. By the way, I believe you could still buy Cinder's merch off GamerSups. She's no longer a partial owner, but you can still buy her stuff and support her with code Cinder. Cinder, code Cinder for 10% off. I know someone tried out this the code Sinder when they were buying product off GamerSubs. It still worked. I don't know if it still works now, but you can hit code Sinder. You can support you. By the way, you can subscribe to her on Twitch. Did you know that? You can subscribe to her on Twitch, tier 1 through 3. You can for a monthly fee. That was actually a pretty fun rhyme. You can subscribe to her. You can subscribe to her Twitch, tier 1 through 3. Yeah. You can subscribe. You can watch her videos. I've actually taken the time to watch her YouTube videos and watch her YouTube shorts. They're hilarious. Guys, they're so funny. They're great. I don't know. Like, Cinder just... She has it. She's the GOAT. She just knows how to make things funny. So, just... Yeah, ways to support Cinder. I've been saying support Cinder. I've been saying ways. You can subscribe to her YouTube channel. You can like her videos. You can leave a positive comment in her videos and VODs. I feel like she sees them. You can subscribe to her Twitch. You can follow her Twitch. You can ring the bell, fondle the bell, receive notifications when she's live. You can join her public Discord server, Cinder's Hellhole. You can buy her merch. You can buy her merch. You can give a super thanks to her on the video section. There are ways for us to support her. Not just financially, but just emotionally and, emotionally. And mentally, I guess, by showing support. So, those are ways to help Cinder. Just watch her stuff. I've watched her stuff. They're great. Even if it's with the accusers, they're great. Because she makes it great. She's just great in general, so. Yeah. Wait, if we leave a positive comment, haters target us? That's good! Listen here. If you leave a positive comment on Cinder's video, that is a great thing. That is an amazing thing. Why am I saying that? Remember what I said. PR is PR. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good, you're still promoting them. Remember, content creators get money from engagement. If the haters engage with your comment on a Cinder video, guess what? They're promoting Cinder. You're using their hate to support Cinder. You turned something negative, did some weird bending avatar thing, and turned it into something positive for Cinder. Remember, PR is PR. We're in the content creation sphere. PR is PR. Bad PR, good PR, it's still PR. So, leave a positive comment on Cinder's video, the haters target you, whatever. They supported your cause. Bring attention to Cinder. So, yeah, alright, cool. Free PR? Sure. Just make sure to just be positive. And if you don't like it, if you don't like what some people are saying, did you know that YouTube has a dislike function? I've used it on people who I disagree with. All I do is leave a dislike. Like on the Shallowly VOD that we watched earlier in stream, I don't know if you guys saw, but I publicly disliked it. I was like, nah, I disliked it. I was like, nah, dislike. You can just dislike it. There are tools to show you don't like something. By the way, yeah, you can dislike things. You can also... Another tool to get back at things is you can dislike their videos. You can dislike it. It actually does something. It just means that, their stuff will appear in your feed less, and I believe dislike, hold on. Think for YouTube. Hold on. Dislikes. Do something to YouTubers? What does it do? Dislikes affect YouTubers by providing valuable feedback on their content, but they don't necessarily end a career or stop promotion. Both positive, let me see. How dislikes affect the algorithm. Engagement signal. Likes, dislikes, and comments all indicate engagement, which the algorithm uses to promote videos. A dislike can be seen as a form of engagement, especially if it leads to more views and conversation. Promotes controversial content. Discourages negative... Oh, they're just saying in general. You can just dislike it, I guess. I guess it just doesn't matter. You can just dislike their content. You can literally go to the YouTube channel and just dislike everything if you want to. There's literally tools for you to use to get back at the people you don't like without spreading hate or harassment. You just go to their videos and dislike it. You can just dislike bomb one of their videos. Like, So, okay. I mean, that's the optimistic mindset, is they won't go unpunished. And that's the hopeful thought, but the thing is, they won't. They'll keep going. And who knows, maybe karma will come around and bite them in the derriere, and then they're just gonna have to reap what they sow. But unfortunately, they got away with it. Even if Sinder's document comes out, like, even if like 90% of the people believe that Sinder's right? They still got away with it. Whoa! And Theris, thank you for subscribing! Why is that? Where's the notification? I gotta stop. I gotta stop the alert box. Anyway. They will milk Sinder return? Oh, like more Kazahana? Nah. Like, Shylily, even though I've been like throwing shade at Shylily for her actions, she's actually doing something professional for once. And I'm being serious. Like, no, Shylily, I have to give props to Shylily for this. The Sinder, overdue response by Sinder. The 1,000-page Google Doc dropped, right? Shylily's ignoring it. That's a dub on her part. I'm not even joking. You're like, what? Godfred, why are you saying it's a dub? Because remember what I said? You want to get back at someone? You ignore them. Shylily just took a page out of my book that I just said. She's ignoring Sinder. She won. Like, she's just ignoring Sinder. She's not going to address this. It'd have to get really, really bad for her to address it. But she's not going to address Sinder's 1,000-page Google Doc. None of the accusers will. And that's a dub on their part. That's the thing. They got away with it, and they're taking a page out of what I'm telling you guys. If you ignore them, you hurt them. You win. That's what Shylily and the others are doing. They're just ignoring it. They're just treating it as just something petty. Which it is, but you know what I mean. What they did to Sinder was definitely like a big fat like wrongdoing. And I know it's frustrating to feel like, wow, they should be punished for what they've done. That's a horrible thing they did. And it's frustrating to feel that way, but we gotta stay civil, and we gotta be the community that Sinder wants us to be. We gotta be the community that other communities look up to. We gotta be civil. And again, if you want to get back at them, ignore them and dislike their videos. We have tools for it, guys. Use them. No need to make a Google Docie against them. You can just ignore them. And problem will be solved. Oh yeah, hate following? Apparently, yeah, it is a thing, yeah. Oh, I doubt it. No, like, San Jose Sharks, I'm pretty sure she's gonna ignore it. And hey, no, if she addresses it, well, I'm wrong. And I'll be happy to be wrong. Because if Shylily addresses it, you know what that means? Shylily promoted Sinder. She would have taken the big fat L. So if Shylily chooses to address the Sinder 1,000-page Google Doc, that's a dub on Sinder's part. Because that promotes her. But it's gonna be a long time before, if Sinder comes back to streaming, it's going to be a long time before she even gets back to where she is. And I'm going to make a personal biased projection. If she comes back to streaming around this year, like around December, or starts next year, I feel like she will get to where she was before in 2029. If she even continues her career then. Because, like, we don't know, there's too many unknown variables here, but it is apparent she wants to come back. But I feel like it's going to take years. Probably twice the amount of years that it took for her to get to where she was before, to get back to where she was before. Because of how bad Shylily, Nanalis, and Bao, like, how dirty they did her, so. Alright, take care, Mouse-chan. Ooh-woo. Yeah. Remember, if you want to support Sinder, simply follow all of her socials. Watch her videos. Like them. Subscribe to them. Ring the bell so you're notified when she goes live. Ring the bell so you know when she posts a video or a YouTube short. Follow her stuff. She has her YouTube channel. She has a clip channel. She has a VOD channel. She has a Twitch channel. She has a fan sly. I guess I can say that. I don't know. She has a fan sly. Just buy it. She also has a card where if you go there, it has all the links to her socials, has all the links to her channels. You can buy her merch off that card. You can also use code Sinder on checkout on the Gamersite's website to buy her products with a 10% discount if you use code Sinder. Like, there are tons of ways for us Pyropuffs to support them. By using hashtag Cinderdoodle, sending a positive message and using the hashtag Cinderdoodle on social media. You can do that. There's tons of ways to support them. And if you don't like the people that wronged Sinder, you can ignore them and just dislike their videos or block them. We have tools to civilly ignore them and get back at them. We have tools, use them. Be civil. Be the community that other communities from other VTubers look up to. Be the community that Sinder deserves. I don't know if I will. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I did intend to be a drama channel. My channel is called GVP Gameplays. I literally just played Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero before the Sinder drama happened. But I mean, like, maybe. Maybe if I feel like it. But I mainly just want to focus on Sinder stuff. I didn't really want to be a drama tuber, but I ended up being a drama tuber because I'm a hypocrite and Sinder is one of my favorite indie VTubers, so I decided to speak up about this. But I will say that, like, because I've, like, done this, I've got the chance to meet so many people, talk to so many people. Like, it's crazy. What about the community I deserve? I don't know! Bro, like, I'm just a nobody. Like, I am pushing 30. I am 28 years old. I am pushing 30, guys. I'm just a dude that's just existing. I mean, the community I deserve? I don't know. Just help Sinder. just help Sinder. Get her back to where she was before. Because, like, that's the first goal that I think Sinder fans of Pyropuff should have, is to get Sinder to where she was before the Sinder slander occurred. That's the first goal. And then the second goal is to just help her grow and support her from there. Now, these are just far-fetched plans, and I don't know if they're going to happen. And I don't know, you know, the future's unknown. But there's one thing I do know. I lost my train of thought when I said that. There's one thing I do know, and that it's that we should be supporting Sinder in this tumultuous time in her career. She's been through so much. She deserves some love and support, and she deserves good friends. But guess what? It's gonna take time. So, for you guys out there, I know there's some guys out there that are like, oh, I gotta message her directly. Don't. Please stop. Don't. As much as your good intentions are there's a reason why there's a hashtag Cinderdoodle. There's a reason why there's a literal rule in the Sinder Hellhole Discord server stating, do not message Sinder unless a mod approves it. And there's a clear boundary between the content creator and the fans. Please respect that boundary. Oh dear Lord, please respect that boundary. Because trying to help her, because, like, if you try to help too much, it could have the opposite effect. So, if you want to, just letting you know, don't overreach your bounds as the fan, okay? Just don't overreach your bounds. Just use hashtag Cinderdoodle. Just do not message her directly. It will cause burdens for her. Like, it will. Think about it, she's a popular VTuber. Imagine all of her fans start messaging her like, oh, Sinder, you're great. Her DMs would explode. Her Discord would just stop working. Because I know everyone would love to be friends with Sinder. Even I would love to be friends with Sinder. But we have to realize we're fans and she's a content creator and that there's boundaries. And we shouldn't overreach them. Just saying. And it's not out of maliciousness. It's just for privacy's sake. You gotta respect it. Like, remember, she's one person. We are many. She one person. One person can't do everything at once. So I've seen people, I've said it before, that are like, oh, I'm gonna directly message Sinder. I'm like, don't do that, please. That will cause undue burden on her. Because she does care about her community. She's shown it. She cares about the Pyro Pups. But at the same time, we shouldn't push boundaries. Because if we do, that might make her uncomfortable and might make the healing process harder. So, please respect her boundaries. She's just a girl. Like the meme. She's just a girl. Just respect your boundaries. I just wanted to address that because I've seen people on X just like, I directly messaged Sinder and I also sent her an email, like to her personal email, and I'm like, that's pushing boundaries, buddy. Like, she doesn't know you at all. Like, it's too far, man. But that's how I see it, because I've seen other people they get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of fans they have. Like, for example, I remember there's a interview for Mr. Beast. There was a clip where the more famous you get, the harder it is to enjoy everyday life. Like, there was a clip where Mr. Beast said, but every time he goes to the store, there's 2 or 3 people, 1 to 3 people or something like that would constantly be like, can I have your autograph? Like, can't even enjoy just browsing, window shopping in the store. Something like that. At a grocery store, so. We're human. We all need time to be alone. Have some alone time, and Sinder deserves that too. Which is another reason why I'm saying, please don't directly message her. Unless you're a really close friend, or are trying to discuss business or collab with her, please don't. Also, make sure to have approval from the mods before DMing her directly. Please. There's rules. We gotta respect them. We gotta support Sinder without creating repercussions, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, I agreed, Void991. Her first stream is going to be crucial. It's going to be the big one. I think the main thing to focus on in her comeback stream, if she comes back, I think the main thing she needs to focus on, if she comes back, the biggest thing she needs to focus on is just having a fun stream. She has already addressed the Sinder slander. She doesn't need to address it again. So, if she does a comeback stream, I am going to ask all Sinder fans and Pyropups to not mention it. Do not. That just will make it harder for her. Okay? If she comes back to stream, do not mention the Sinder slander. Purge it from your minds. Don't even mention it. Okay? She's already said her piece. She's moving on. She's trying to move on. The last thing she needs is her community to be like, oh, you're gonna do anything about Shy Lily and them? No. She doesn't want that. She doesn't need that. She just wants the Pyropups to be little nerds and talk about how Luigi is on the waifu tier list, which it got to a point that happened. So when she comes back and streams, don't mention anything about the Sinder slander, please. For her sake, do not mention it. I'm pretty sure mods will be working overtime to make sure people don't say that. And I'm pretty sure mods will work overtime to oversee the messages from the bits or the super chats and be like, no, bah, thanks for supporting, but don't talk about the Sinder slander, because she's trying to move on. And the least we can do for our hellhound with a heart is to help her move on and support her. It's the Cinder slander. I'm calling. I used to call it the Cinder situation, but I'm vocally saying Cinder slander now because with Cinder's receipts, it's kind of shown that she was slandered. Oh, also, let's not bring up. I feel so. I've been seeing this a lot in the VTuber community. There are certain VTubers that do not appreciate you talking about other VTubers on their stream. So I would recommend not saying anything about another VTuber unless they are comfortable with it. I do not know Cinder's relationship with other VTubers, but I just know that maybe we should just not talk about other VTubers or the Cinder slander if she comes back. I might make a public X post about it. Just saying. I might just do that. And see if people listen to what I have to say. I'm a nobody, like I said, but I meant to end the stream 40 minutes ago, and I'm still going. Oh, dear God. I'm gonna be a night owl if this continues. Same here. I hope nothing happens on her first stream, but there's only so much we can hope for. Alright. Well, guys, I'm on fumes, and I'm about to reach the 24-hour mark of no sleep. So, I'm going to go to bed after I brush my teeth, take a shower, wash dishes. I'll probably, sleep until, noon. Alright, well, thanks for listening to my rant. Thanks for joining the stream. Like I said, later today, I will be continuing to, yeah, of course. Go Soprano. I don't know. What was I saying? I will be reading, I'll continue reading the Sinder, doc later today. Yeah, you can see I'm about to, conk out. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Peace. I'm gonna end it now before I ramble even more. Peace, bye.